Later.
Please show me an hour with Valentino and Joe Pay. New York Guinea is on the loose. New York Guinea is on the juice. New York Guinea is all the truth. Please enjoy our show and maybe your masseuse is listening too, so give her a splooge. Greg and Joe, Joe and Greg, Joe and Greg, Greg and Joe. I can't come up with any lyrics, so just start the fucking show, bro. And let's hope our two guineas aren't a no-show. So now let's go.
Hey, here we go once again. The Swol Lyfe presents Greg
Swol
and
Lyfe.
Joe Show.
Right here. My favorite right there, the clean energy.
Clean energy.
I love that shit.
It cleans you out.
It's energy without all the fucking ugats. But the
Without-
thing is, it tastes like fucking Smarties. And that's, well, like you know, like the, we call it this pixie stick.
Pixie sticks. Yeah,
Right.
definitely. So make sure you use MSM15 code at the Swol Lyfe, SWOLLYFE.com. You can see it right at the top above my head here. And put that in and you save 15%. Site-wide, they got all the stuff you want.
Smells like just like candy right there.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Candy corn. Here's if you want to get shredded for the summer.
Do
Swole
shredded.
Chad is on there. He looks
I
like
have
he's
that over
getting
there.
ready to go. He's
I
got
have
the
that right
tank
there.
top. We got to get ready for the summer, Gregorio. It's
Yes, we will.
it's the Memorial Day is past us. So thank you guys. We are on a little bit later today, but we are here.
It's my fault because I had to
Your
go to the
fault?
dentist.
You had to go to the fucking dentist.
Quest
Shit
cookie.
happens.
I'm eating a Quest cookie.
A Quest cookie.
I love
So-
the chocolate chip Quest cookies. Oh my God, to me, those fucking things. Did you ever eat one, Joe?
I believe I have. I know I've tried the
I put 'em in the
Quest. I think I've
refrigerator.
had the
I can
chocolate
cook.
chip.
Oh, they're good. They're I could eat them fucking. I could never eat a regular chocolate chip cookie, and I'd still be happy with this one.
Yep. They are good. They don't taste like you know, they're
No,
not
they don't.
the fucking Chips Ahoy one. New York Guineas on the loose.
Loose.
Yes, of course.
I love that song. I don't get tired of hearing that.
No, not at all. That's from Seaside right there. My boy Hooga the Claus. He got from a pull-it session. You were in a granny mood. All right, Hoog, what's a granny to you? Because I know a granny to me would be like, I guess Hoog's younger than both of us.
Oh yeah.
So a granny that would be you know.
It's probably a girl like 35, 40.
Let's go. How was your Memorial Day weekend, guys? RIP the old American heroes. Absolutely. Memorial Day is for the people who were lost.
Right.
You know, people like to use it as a holiday, official, unofficial start of summer, but it's not a day of happiness. It's a day of memory and
Right.
you know.
Joe, can you and I actually include our fathers in that? Because our fathers are gone, right? And they
Yeah.
both fought in the war, right? I mean, my father was in the Korean War. But didn't your dad serve too, right?
Cold War. Yeah, he was in the Naval Reserves in the late 50s, early 60s. And if the Cuban Missile Crisis kicked off, he was headed to Cuba.
Oh shit, he was the wow. Because my
Yeah.
father, I guess my father'd be almost 100 right now. He was he just was at the end of World War II and then the Korean War, right?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, well, Memorial Day, I think, is more for the guys who died fighting. But hey, fuck it, anybody that served deserves
That's right.
honor. They're not veterans because they all passed away, right?
No,
anymore.
but
So I guess I listen. Why not? Yeah, let's fit them into that Memorial Day, saying thank you to those guys as well. But Craig, thank you for.
Thank you,
But,
Craig. Well,
Danny Boy, this is the first time I caught this live from England. You're in England.
Danny
Then
Boy.
If AJ comes on or Stufa, they are your country mates. RB Greg, why was John and Amin talking smack about your training when you're bigger than both of them? Greg's
when
ready.
you want John's legs are ripped because he's really hard, but that's I even said to him, you're not gonna compare your legs with mine. Even I'm not even gonna get into it, but let me just say something. You know how things hit you later, Joe? Did somebody ever say something to you like maybe I don't know, maybe you had an argument with somebody in a grocery store or something, and then 2 days later you're thinking about it, you're like I should have fucking said, like
All the time, all
like
the time.
I'm sitting back and I get that delayed reaction because then it just hit me. Wait a minute. I mean, if you watch this, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I said I come in and the first thing I do is like it takes me about 10 minutes. I don't time it, but I do some quick pull downs, like lat pull downs. Then I do chest. I said that on the show, you fucking Momo. I do chest, okay? So now by the time I do the 10 minutes of this, and the chest is like anywhere from 35, 40 minutes it takes me to do. Depends, right? So now you're talking about 50 fucking minutes right there. That's 50 minutes. Then I do legs. It takes me like 4 minutes to do the leg press, give or take, right? 3 minutes to 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Then it takes me a minute for a split second. I got to set up the leg. And then I go to the leg curls, which takes me 15 minutes. That's like a fucking hour and like 15 minutes or, whatever. An hour and 15 minutes, hour 20, like that. So it means like, well, it doesn't fit the whatever. What are you talking about? I do legs, takes me 20 minutes, basically. 4 minutes of leg press. Dave's like, you said you only do one set. I said I do one set. It's for quads. I call legs quads, okay? I didn't say that that's a hamstrings. You fucking momos, bro. I do 50. What I do is I take the leg curl and I lay on it. This is what Joe, I don't think you saw the show. This is what he's
No, I didn't see it. So yeah, I'm a little in the dark on it, but I'm catching what you're saying.
Yeah, totally, but they asked me to explain what I'm explaining now yesterday.
Okay.
And it means like it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the fucking equation. Listen to me. I do 15 minutes. My girlfriend thinks she did. What I do is, this is a weird thing, but I've been doing it forever, and my hamstrings are huge. So I take 15-minute block of time, and I start. Okay, go. And I got 15 minutes to accomplish 45 sets. So I take literally, I know that sounds nuts, but that's 3 sets in a minute. I try to accomplish 3 sets in a minute, and I do no more than like 7 to 10 seconds rest between sets.
Yeah, you're very short rest that you've always advocated.
On leg curl. And now you can't do that on certain things, but on leg curl, that's the way I do it.
Yeah.
And then I said to Dave yesterday, when I do leg press, I do continuous tension like this, like that, right?
Yeah.
I do continuous. I said, and this is where one of the things he freaked out, because I said, I don't stop at the top, right? In the middle and go, and literally for 5 seconds.
Yeah, guys are like this on the top. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
It does, you fucking Momo. Dave, I love you, but you're fucking wrong. You're a Momo. Listen to me, okay? I don't do that. In my brain, for me, if you guys want to do that, that's all you, bro. But for my brain, and then Larry showed his legs, and everybody else showed, like, your legs ain't comparing with mine. I'm not trying to be cocky, bro, but it ain't happening. None of you
got
guys.
fucking very fucking big.
Compare your legs, man. And then I made the mistake of saying, well, you guys are all on juice. I'm not on juice. And he's like, oh, don't try to play that natural shit. Like, I never said it was natty. I do TRT. But last year when I had my legs out there and shit like that, I had just had surgery. So I was fucking natty, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? I wasn't on anything. I was also 173 when I was out there. I'm like fucking right now. I'm like around anywhere from 187 to 190. The TRT doesn't do anything for me as far as size goes. I don't really notice the difference, but I know I feel better. The joints don't ache. The bicha legard is, much more on point.
Most importantly, yeah.
But I never said I was natty. And then he brought up, oh, don't be like Michael Hearn. And let me tell you something.
Oh no!
This
sounds like a fucking shit show.
Oh, dude, he was. Let me tell you,
fucking cluster fuck fest.
I get along good with Michael Hearn. There's no problems. Lee Priest told me he's natty. Bob Bonham once told me he's natty. Michael Hearn looked like that when in the 1980s.
Always looked like that.
He's not. He's not, dude. He's not fucking 300. The guy's 6-something. If these other guys today are 5'8" and they're 300-some pounds, so if he was all juice, he would be fucking at his height, he would easily weigh 300 pounds. So I know none of you guys want to believe that. He's just hard body. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But these guys, I love my boys in after hours, but don't try to, don't compare that shit. Dave's like, all right, we'll have a pose down out in Alabama. First of all, I haven't made a decision about it yet, but I'm not doing no pose down. He wants me to, they want to make a fool of me, right? They want me, Jimmy, and George, Mr. G, to have a pose. That's like the geriatric crew, you know what I'm saying? And even Jimmy's like, Jesus Christ, Dave, I'm not fucking, but I'm not going out there to fucking make I told him, why don't you pose? You know what I mean? And he said, that's because I'm ripped all year round. I'll kill all you guys. Yes, you're ripped all around. But you're not no face beating me with my fucking lie. I'm telling you right now, Joe, you haven't seen me every day. I'm in fucking really good shape, and you're not gonna fucking, your structure's not gonna matter. None of you guys, your structures are not gonna manage mine. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But that's the idea. But I'm not going out there to fuck. There, Joe, I fucking hate bodybuilding. I love bodybuilding, being a bodybuilder. I love it. It's a lifestyle that we all choose. Okay.
Yeah.
But just because you go out and run every day doesn't mean that you're a fucking, like you're a professional. I don't want that. I don't like that. I like other sports. You know what I mean? I watch baseball, MLB. You know what I'm saying?
You're staying up late this week because they're out west.
Right, Joe. I watched it last night. You know what I mean? I put it on at the gym. What I'm saying is, I don't care who wins the Mr. Olympia, guys. I'm sorry. There's the sport of bodybuilding, and then there's the lifestyle.
And then this body.
Now, I like the lifestyle. Okay, because the sport of bodybuilding is not the same. And I'm not the only one that says that. There's a lot of pro bodybuilders I talk to. I'm not going to name names because it's not for me to fucking throw them out under the bus. There's guys you guys fucking love. And even Lee will tell you, fuck that shit,
People tell you in confidence, so you're not going to. Hey, it is AJ. Yeah. What up, AJ?
AJ, what's going on, brother?
Joe, did you hear what Lee said? Something related to Gregg.
What
did Lee Priest Hoog?
What did he say?
I didn't hear it.
He's my best ball breaker.
Oh yeah.
He just fucking called me this morning, so it's not.
He's in Italy right now with Alessandro and Rosetta. Yeah,
I think he just got back, but I was.
They got back.
He called me when he was in Italy. I talked to him when he was sitting at the table with Rosetta. He showed me his hotel. He showed me all this shit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they must have had a fucking blast there. Granny to Hoog is 50 and up. That's like robbing the cradle for us.
You do 50. You get it.
What part of Italy did your guys' family come from?
I'm Naples.
Gregorio?
Naples and I think Abruzzo.
Abruzzo and Napoli. I'm a Napoli and a Barese. Barry and Naples. I'm
Naples. Yep. Naples. I consider myself Napolitan. Right.
Napolitan. I'm in southern Italy. One's on the west coast, one's on the east coast. Paul Walker. What's up, Paul? Thank you for watching again. Gregg prefers the Quest cookies over Mr. G's, wondering which is better. I've only tried Larry and Moe's. Well, they're both good, right? Mr. G's.
Yeah, Mr. G's cookies taste amazing, and they are amazing. But Mr. G uses pure cane sugar, like like I'm using organic pure cane sugar. Well, to my pancreas, that means holy shit, we can't eat this. Mr. G, I love him. His cookies are great. It's just that I can't eat.
You're diabetic.
I'm diabetic, right?
It's a totally different situation. You can't. You're not eating them not because they don't taste good or they are good,
taste wise,
but they're bad. They're bad for you because they got fucking sugar in them. And the
taste wise are unbelievable. Just like I can't eat pasta and pizza every day. I can't do that. I do eat it in a blue moon, but then I make sure that I don't eat anything else that has carbs in it at all.
Well, yeah, you got to,
and I got to take my medicine.
Take extra
right.
Fucking stuff. Exactly. Yeah, that's what my wife does when she has like something sweet stuff. Gregg, do I understand correctly that you never pull it because Lucia is so available to you constantly?
Yes, it's correct. Lucia is a horny Mexican.
That is amazing.
Yes, she's we've been together and we're in our 19th year right now, and
forever.
Our sex drive, we have sex pretty much almost every single day, whether it's fucking or getting jerked off or some sort of shit.
Always
something sexual.
Good for you. That keeps you young. And here we go. Gregg, I'm gonna break another surprise to you, Johnny, West Coast Johnny. You know Johnny Kunkel from out in,
My boy
California.
Johnny. Is
Hey,
that it?
Paisan, send in love from West Coast. Johnny Kunkel and his son Vince are beginning to advertise with this show starting in June, but we're gonna give them a nice little plug now.
John's my guy. West Coast
Johnny's
Johnny's
the
my
fucking
guy.
best, bro.
He's an old school bodybuilder.
Total
He
old
loves
school. Vince
total
Gironda,
old
he's
school.
a big
Absolutely.
Gironda fan. But Johnny and his son have the Chapel of Peace crematorium, right? Chapel of Peace cremation.com. They ship ashes that you can ship it to them. So we got a whole thing that we're going to start next week, and they have an ad in this issue of the magazine, which is great because it's got this paranormal stuff. So it kind of
Wow.
it's
I
kind of
didn't-
cool. The timing was beautiful, but Chapel of Peace cremation.com. Long distance services. It's in San Diego, but they do long distance services also. You don't have to live in San Diego to use their services.
Do they have to be dead to get them cremated? Can we send them a few live people that
That would be, you know what, Johnny? I got a few friends that would fucking pay you handsomely for the fucking usage of your fucking back room.
I can think of a few. I know what you're talking about, Joseph.
Yep. But Johnny, thank you for everything.
Thank you, Johnny. Johnny's my guy. I love Johnny.
Johnny loves Gregg. He's always, every time I've seen Johnny, he always talks so.
He's been very supportive. Johnny's a good man.
Yeah, Johnny's
I love Johnny.
great. And his son Vince.
Johnny's an
Johnny and
honorary
Vince.
East Coast Guinea. Johnny's an
Yes.
honorary New York East Coast Guinea. Even though he's not from New York, he is honorary. We give him the placard, right, Joe?
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. So starting next week, I'll have a full 60-second live read prepared. But just go to Chapel of Peace cremation.com is their site. Like I said, you don't have to be local to have them take care of your fucking stiff loved ones.
Or if somebody you don't like, you could have them whacked in the center.
Or some that rule that keeps fucking with you on the program every week. Paul Till, Gregg, I got to say, I blame Dave because he has created a culture over there where you, Jimmy, and Mr. G are always on the butt end of the jokes. Real fans know you guys do, don't you? Jokes are fine, though.
Yeah, we don't mind the jokes.
Listen, the jokes are different. Gregg can take the fucking ball breaking with the best of them and dish it out at the same time. That's all and good. That's fun. So I don't know. I didn't see it, so I can't say.
No, but you know what the funny thing is? I gotta say this, and I you know, he's over there. He made the show, tried to make me look like fucking the drool over here. He's over there telling people, Gregg, because Michelle asked me, where do you send me your itinerary, what you want, you know, your flying info. Just get your flying info, send it to me, and then I'll pay for it. So I said, okay. And when I looked up the flying info, and I said, oh, shit, I don't want to go to Atlanta airport like last year and other times. Because Atlanta's full of savages, okay? Dude, whenever you see them fucking videos, it's, you know, the big fat black chicks fighting and shit and wigs getting yoked off their head, it's usually down there. But that's
their asses hanging out.
Dude, every time I go there, there's fucking delay. And last year when I went to fucking Alabama, right, coming home, we missed a flight because the plane from fucking Alabama was slow. So when we got there, the plane had already left. And when I got up to the fucking counter, they're like, okay, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Huh, well, you can tomorrow at 8 in the morning. And I'm like, what?
Tomorrow? Thanks.
I ain't sleep. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Find me a fucking plane out of here. Finally, they got me a plane out, but I can't stand that. It's not the first time it happened. So what I did was I went to Durham's, whatever, North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever, Durham,
North Carolina, yeah.
Right.
Raleigh, Durham Airport,
so I said, you know what? I'll go there. I'll fly to that. And then so Dave starts breaking my nuts. Oh, you don't want to go to Atlanta. What do you, this, that, the other thing. You're trying to make her pay more money. He says, right? He's trying to make me look like I'm trying to make her pay. Then he goes and asks everybody else on the cast, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Do you want to go? So that's a hotel room for you. That's a hotel room for you. That's a hotel room for you. That's airfare for you. That's airfare for you. And that's airfare for you. You know, so what happens is, how do you say I'm trying to get her to pay more money? You know what I mean? You know, she invited me and, you know, whatever.
Who's this? Who's this lady you're talking about? Who's the girl?
She's really nice, Michelle Prada.
And she's, what is it, like a seminar or something? She's
No,
running
no,
down there.
she runs the fucking Alabama Bodybuilding Classic. It's a really great classic. It's on the 21st.
Okay.
I'll give her a quick plug. It's on the 21st of
Plug it. Yeah.
June. You know, I'm there. Jimmy the Bowls with me, and last year we did it with Lee and everybody too.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's like a big expo. There's pros. It's pro, you know, IFBB pros. And you know, if you win that show, you go to you get a invite to the Olympia, and it's amateurs too, and it's a big bodybuilding weekend, and it's fun. But you know, we do a seminar, we get up on stage, and we do it. You know, now I'm not posing down though. That's not happening. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking saying. You know, I'm gonna make a fool, and it's not like I got some fear. I'm just not gonna do that. You know, I make an asshole myself enough. I don't need to fucking add to that shit. Plus, I don't want to go out there, bro. Then he's like, "Well, film you doing your leg workout." You're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm gonna go there in there. I've been in that gym. It's the hotel gym. I am not going in no fucking gym and
Birmingham, Alabama. I was there once, bro. It's a fucking one-horse town. It's fucking, oh God,
Joe, we're in fucking we're in Montgomery, Alabama. And you got the fucking, there's a statue of Rosa Parks, you know what I mean? And I'm standing there with my arm around, you know, because it's right at this bus stop. It's all by itself. You're standing there. And if you didn't know what the fuck you're doing, you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck is it? There's like a little thing on the ground or whatever. It says Rosa Parks right here. This is the bus stop. If you didn't know what you were doing, you'd be like, what the fuck is that statue thing doing? It's like this black statue of somebody, a lady holding a pocketbook. And you don't know if you didn't know what the hell was going on, you wouldn't even know what it was, you know?
Yeah. The South is different.
Let's just
what do you call a rainbow guy in a wheelchair? A tomato. That he's both a fruit and a vegetable. Who gonna call it? With he's got some dirty jokes.
I got a few that are very, I can't say it.
AJ has done your leg workout and he says it is intense.
Thank you, AJ.
AJ is over in the UK in England.
You know what else?
Annie Barker.
You know what else is intense? Indians. Get it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
that's a hooker joke.
Hi guys, thought there was no show today with a pleasant surprise. Thank God for the push notifications. Oh,
yeah, it's my fault. I had to go to the dentist.
No fault. We start the show a little later. Big deal. I'm glad people can still make it. No, it's all good, man. You got to get your fucking teeth fixed.
Yeah, well,
Greg, don't mind Dave. He's a Momo. He lost a lot of respect in my book lately. Joe, you should join Greg in Alabama. If Dave pays for me, I'll go. How's that?
There you go. We might as well.
Oh, come on. I'll go.
Oh, we'd have a fun, Joe. If you were there and we get Joe forget about it. The two Joes, we'd have a lot of fun.
We would fucking, and we wouldn't be talking about pose downs.
No.
Let me compare my quad to teardrop to yours.
And when we're backstage, we'd be going, Joe, look at the fucking ass in the bikini girl.
Look at that.
Look at number 3 over there with the fucking black. Oh my God. You know,
camel toe.
That's what we'd be doing.
Egregious. What's up, Momos? How
you doing, my brother?
Hey, Greg, I just want to throw this portion of the Greg and Joe show is being brought to you by Tampon Tim.
Here he is. Right here, I got it. Dude, this is the greatest label ever. Right there. Tampon Tim.
The beta male. And there's the Donald John. And there he is.
Doge.
Of course.
Baby. That's the great. This thing will Tampon Tim. That's a fucking, that's hysterical. Genius.
But this is all from oldmanstunup.com. He's got a full website with all of the old man stuff. Vince, you can also go to vincesmuscleshop.com. And he mail orders his own line. He's got tons of fucking subs. It's not just Cougar Cocktail and Old Man's Tune Up. He's got a lot of different subs, pills, and powders in his own brand. And he ships those.
Yeah, I got it ready.
He has a brick and mortar in Columbus, Greg, that sells all the other brands too. But why would you want the other brands, except for Swol, of course? But Cougar Cocktail, just go to oldmanstunup.com and vincesmuscleshop.com.
That wasn't an old man, by the way, on that thing you just showed.
No, this was the Cougar. This was the Cougar Cocktail. I got to give this to my wife, and I can see if I can maybe get a little more action like Greg gets from Lucia. But, of course, vincesmuscleshop.com. Vince has been there in Columbus, Ohio forever. He is just he's basically a fucking the pillar of the community, if you will.
You need, Joe, you need the Jackuloid. That's the shit that'll fucking.
Ah, yes, indeed. The Jackuloid is
By the way,
my
Vince,
favorite dick pill.
if Vince is watching this, Vince was, what's his name, just was at my house, and he was had good things to say about Joe Schwartz. You know Joe Schwartz, right, Joe?
Sure, yeah.
Joe Schwartz
guy,
was
yeah.
just at my house. Joe Schwartz is my guy. He's a fucking great guy, dude. He's a lummox. You know
Does
what
he
I'm
know
saying?
Vince also?
Yeah, he told me he knows.
Oh, he
Vince.
does. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Joe's a fucking monster. He played arena football and shit.
Dude,
Or was
he's
it World League football? He played professional football.
He reminds me of my son when I fucking shake his hand, and like when you go, you know,
Big
if you
boy.
ran into him, it's like a fucking like a wall. That guy, bro.
Yeah.
Holy Christ.
Remember, he was at the one of the things that we were at Bob's gym for.
Yes,
Joe was there with 5% and the
he's
Martin
no
Ford brand.
he's no longer with 5%. He's got his own brand of stuff now. I forgot the name of it. I have it over here, but he's
Good.
a fucking great guy, Joe Schwartz, and he's good friends with Big Frank. You know Big Frank.
Yeah. Budolinsky, sure.
Yeah,
I see Joe at the Arnold every year. So
yeah,
Joe,
he knows you. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
he just told me he saw you out there. You know, he said, yeah, he was talking to you out there, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were. He was with us when we had that huge crowd when we had the booth there, and we were fucking pounding beers that night. And me and him were pushing the board at a fucking boss. Joe, he's a fucking real guy. But that's cool. I didn't know he knew Vince also. So good.
Yeah, he comes to my house when he's in the area. He's always stopped by my house. He was here.
Yeah, he's a Jersey guy, right? Or
He's a what?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Joe is a Pennsylvania, right?
Pennsylvania
Okay.
guy, and he's a monster. If you guys never met, he's a fucking the guy. Fucking, he's like, if you ran into him, yeah, he told me he played pro football for a little bit, some sort of some sort of
like
football.
I think it was the World League overseas in Europe, and then I think he did some arena football or some. I forget what it was, but it was like that's fucking real football. That was those things were affiliated with the NFL, the World League. It was NFL Europe, they called it at one point. But that's anybody that play professional football. I don't give a fuck at what level. If you're getting paid to play football, there are a lot of guys that fucking try and never get there. So
Well, he's like
good for
300 fucking pounds, and but it's like solid, like you know what I mean? He's like a fucking lummox. Like my son is like that, like a lummox. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Fucking,
like, holy
yeah.
Christ, you
like
know?
a wall. Yep.
Yeah.
Roger
dude,
Babbitt. Yep, Roger Babbitt. Thank you for watching again, Raj. Dave was such a jerk, was trying to bribe Greg with a fruit basket. What was that all about?
No, he
fruit
was
basket?
saying, he was being sarcastic. He's like, Greg, what do you need? A fruit basket from Michelle? And it wasn't that. He's breaking balls. Dave's just trying to break balls.
If it was
good
just
for
in
TV.
good fun,
Right.
then that's
But-
cool then.
But you're breaking balls on my expense. But the thing is that there's a lot of people who believe that shit. They sit back and they're like, oh, look at Greg, if I'm ready and I have to be pampered. What do you mean pampered? I want to go into, like, if I want to fly out, if I say, what, I don't want to go to Atlanta airport, I want to go to this airport. Is that the fucking, oh my God.
What was the difference between the two fucking tickets?
I don't know.
She didn't anyway.
She didn't ask me. She asked me, do me a favor, pick two flights, flight out, flight home, and then send it to me. And then when she sent it back, it was Atlanta. And I said, wait a minute, the one you asked me, I said I went into Durham instead of Atlanta. And then I guess when she said something to Dave, she's been writing to me saying, "Oh no, I love you, I want you to come." But Dave's like fucking, like, oh, that's like, oh, go to Atlanta. You don't want to go to Atlanta, motherfucker. You're down in Florida. You could fucking drive there. John Romano's driving from, I think, South Carolina.
He lives in, yeah. John's in Carolina. Vic Torres, what's up, fellas? What's up? Good to see Jimmy back on the show. He looked great. Yeah, you were just saying, Jimmy on the show. So I'm glad Jimmy is back on because you guys are funny together.
Yeah, Jimmy's the man.
Jimmy is awesome. Stufa, here he is, the other guy in the UK, AJ and Stufa. And what's the other dude that was catching us too? I'm sorry, buddy, I forgot now. Does Greg have any scary, spooky ghost stories like when Joe went to the asylum the other week and got haunted by the inmates who can't nuts because they have been force-fed cornflakes? Oh, Jesus. You will have to buy the next issue, Stufa, and find out.
Yes, I do have a good.
He might have a spooky story.
I actually have two, but the one I wrote up is the one that I was involved. There's another one that was, It's another one, but it's
Yes.
you know.
I,
Anyway.
I thought you were gonna put the other one, so I'm
I
reading
would've.
the
You know what
story,
it is?
and then I'm like, oh, this one's different. This is a good one. So
Oh wait, you
I
didn't know
like them
that one?
both.
You didn't know the one I sent you, or you did know that?
No, I think I knew it, but I haven't. I was
You know what it
thinking
is?
in my head it was going to be the other one,
I was
and then
gonna
I
give
started
you.
reading it, and
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
oh
give you
shit,
the
this is
2.
cool.
I was gonna give it 2, but you know what the problem is? My word count was already like
There's
2,000
too much
words.
space. Yeah,
Yeah,
too
I would.
many.
You would have had to dedicate like more pages and shit.
Muscle Sport Greg magazine.
That's what it would have been. I
Yeah.
was like, Jesus Christ, I can't, because I do the same kind of word count that I had at the end with Bleckman. I used to do 4,000 words with Bleckman at first,
Yeah.
when it was the book. But then
You
he cut
had
me
a lot.
back.
You had 6 pages, I think,
Yeah, at
right?
one point I had like fucking 5, 6 pages.
Or
But you
8.
can't, I can't do that like that. It's you start putting pictures in there, forget about it. The whole magazine. So I said, holy shit, I'm close to 2,000. I was over 2,000. I cut a
Yeah,
lot
no, it
out.
was fine. I was able to get it in. I got some.
And I
of the
wrote it in
photos
lowercase too to keep it also like so you can kind of compact instead.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was afraid I was going to spread it out throughout the whole magazine.
Continued on page. I hate when people try to say natural sugars are healthy. No, it's sugar. Say it with me. Sugar.
Right.
I mean, sugar is sugar. I mean, if it's processed, it's worse, but it's
Even
not
honey.
healthy.
All these guys that go, it's we put honey in there instead of sugar. Well, to my pancreas, honey is you might
turns
put
into
sugar in
sugar,
there.
right?
Right.
You guys have been on YouTube longer than half these momos.
Right.
Well,
Except they're making all this money and we're not.
They can afford trips to Atlanta/Alabama. Hey,
let me just say one thing to you guys. Joe and I did way more than we had major A-list celebrities on our show.
Yeah.
If we were there before, we were doing podcasts. I remember we didn't even know I didn't even know. I never heard of podcast. We called it the radio show, but
that was it. Yeah, we didn't
right.
call it podcast.
Right, but we had more fucking celebrities. Everybody, we had the major celebrities.
I'm still gonna put together. Hugo Claus gave me the other version of the Greg and Joe intro, which is
I like the one you play now.
Wave. That one's great, but he has another one, the same lyrics. It's like a new wave music. I want to use it at the end and put pictures of all the different people that we interviewed during those shows. So I gotta just get fucking and get myself to do it. Sonny Sammy Davis, my great grandfather and grandmother were also from Naples. I wonder if our ancestors ever crossed paths. Greg, salud.
You never know. Back then, I think they all kind of interbred a little bit. That's why some of us. It's what some of those Italians.
Small villages, yeah.
Well, it was arranged marriages and shit. If you probably.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if my great grandmother and all that shit. It was arranged marriages.
A lot of it was, yeah. I think it's old-fashioned shit. Marcos, hey Greg, can't wait to see you with the bull in Alabama. Much love, my brother.
Thank you.
That'll be fun, yeah, definitely. The videos were hysterical from last year. Those big girls look scary and go toe-to-toe with guys. It's crazy.
Which big girls is that, Joe? What was he?
AJ, what big girls are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not sure which ones you mean. Yeah.
Greg, we need to see a full day of eating.
A full day of eating. I kind of would bore you.
How do you break down your nutrition and stuff?
I think it would bore you guys. I don't eat I'm not eating like I eat healthy foods, but I didn't.
You eat healthy for the diabetes. You're not one of these bodybuilders with okra and shit.
No,
like that.
no, I'm not like that. But I don't eat like delicious. I'm very also. I eat the same thing as like 5 fucking foods I eat, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like one of those people that tries different foods. I don't like Mexican food, even though she's a bit big with Mexican. I don't like anything with onions or garlic. I don't like. I know that's Italian sacrilegious. But if you make like two in my mind, do you like garlic, Joe?
Yes, but not over like a certain limit. If it's too garlicky, it takes over, and the other good things that taste good in the gravy,
right?
You lose. So
right,
it has to just be a good amount. But I do like it though. Yeah.
I think if it's hidden in the food, like sometimes I'll go out to an Italian restaurant and there's some sort of garlic and stuff. As long as it's not like where it's over, where it repeats. But I don't eat any direct garlic or onions. because they repeat. And then the same thing with I love peppers, like sausage and peppers, but I got to be careful because they repeat. You know what I mean? But I'll eat it anyway. I'll deal with the repeating, but I'll eat it anyway. Sausage and peppers.
Corey Hanks. Hey, Corey, thanks for watching.
Hey, Corey.
What's up, guys? Greg, did you ever have any run-ins with strongman Manfred Olberl? I don't know if I'm fucking that name, but I'm sorry, Corey. Was there ever a rivalry between you and far as who had the bigger arms? I don't know who the guy is, so I don't know.
No, I know. I remember.
You know who he is? All right.
Yeah, he had big arms.
Big dude.
Yeah, no, there was I never had any. I don't think I met him. I might have. I don't remember. Yeah, I met so many people at shows. They come up to you. Shit. I don't remember everybody.
You can't get a fucking bathroom break when we're at the shows. Remember, we were trying to get. We're grabbing our dicks, trying to fucking like hop to the fucking bathroom. People are taking pictures, and you're like, you're super nice, but I get it. You know, it's like you don't want to go. Oh, I can't.
Because I try to give everybody my time, so that there's times I got to go to the bathroom. The piss is running down my leg and shit. You know?
But you're a good dude, though. That's why.
Thank you.
Good job, Greg. It's disgusting how socially acceptable it is for airlines and airports to just cancel flights like it's nothing. And never been apologetic about it. Always give them crap for that, bro. Yeah, well, you saw these, I don't know, was it Spirit? Those fucking broads got canned. They were fucking with that guy at the counter and shit. They wouldn't let him check into the flight.
I can't.
All over fucking Twitter and stuff. But yeah, airports can be so fucking frustrating.
You know what the worst is, Joe?
I hate them.
Joe, I know that you fly out here and there, okay? But it's when you got to do, see, this is the part that really bothers me about the Alabama trip. It's the connecting flight shit. Because if one plane arrives a little late, you're like, we got 15 minutes. Okay, we got to be at gate 185. Where are we now? We're at 12B. And I'm like, we need 185C. So that means I gotta run 100 fucking things. And or take that stupid tram. Oh my God. And there's savages on there. Everybody sucks in the airport.
Now you flying out of Kennedy or somewhere up by
I'm gonna fly out of Westchester, but then I gotta go into one of these other. The thing is, it's different for me if I fly and then land, but to fly, land, and then fly again. And last year they lost one suitcase, and I'm not talking about at the suitcase thing. I'm talking about when you get on the airport, they put the cart, you put it on the cart, and they put it on, and then they load it. And when you get off the airport, they give it. The whole cart. It's mine. You know what I mean? And my everybody got their suitcase but me, and I can't see 3 feet in front of me. So my girlfriend's like, holy shit, she's looking out the window. She goes, look, they're putting your suitcase on another person, on another. My girlfriend ran out on where the tarmac is and yelled, that's our suitcase, and we got it back. I just think I can't do that shit. If it was up to me, I don't travel.
Yeah, traveling. I love traveling, but I hate the actual act of the travel.
Right.
I like when I get there and I'm in there.
You wish you could be like Star Trek, where you walk in the fucking that thing and it's
energized. In Birmingham.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely, Hoog. I agree. Airports have become a fucking, and they feel like they can treat you like a scumbag. The TSA and all of that.
And they're juggernauts.
They're fucking disgusting. I have fucking zero respect for them. Juggernauts. Greg, can you ever train in a busy gym again? Would you lose your fucking mind? Well, you go late at night because it's nice and quiet, but you also are a night owl, so that's your nature. Have you always trained at night, even when you were younger, or did you used to go?
Well, no, when I was young, I trained during the day after school, you know what I mean? But I also trained a lot at my house, with plastic weight. But I would try to find the time where nobody's there. I don't like gyms with bodybuilders. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't need all that ego shit guys walking around. I just like to train, and I do like if there's guys I know and we're friendly, you know what I'm saying? It's
sure, yeah.
Look, some people go out at night and they go bowling, right? And they hang out with their friends and they're eating hamburgers and drinking beer. This is like a night out for me. You're with the guys, they're in the gym, guys are talking about you, but you train, you know what I mean? But when I'm doing chest and legs on Monday, I have to go at night. I can't have anybody, I just do my thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't.
But I only go once a week. I go late at night. I usually go on Saturdays. That's when I go at 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought
you
always
train twice a week.
Late. Right. I know that you were always a late.
Always late though. That's my preference.
Yep. Here he is, Charlie Arms, baby. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, we want you on this show all the time, even with the Wolfman mask and your prick hanging out. But I just don't want to get in trouble. If YouTube didn't care, you could do that every week.
Charlie, you're a scandal.
It was hysterical, I thought. I agree with everyone. Dave has been something else of late. Ever since my cerebral hemorrhage, they just ignore me. If I wasn't stuck in Jupiter, I'd pay them a visit in Alabama. All right.
Oh God, Charlie.
Good one. That was good.
Charlie's a scandal.
What show is this? I feel like I'm missing out. I think she's probably talking about the After Hours from yesterday.
Oh yeah. After Hours yesterday. Yes.
Yep.
It was After Hours yesterday.
After
I
Hours
think
on
it's
RX.
now it's called Jimmy's Back. But when they first advertised, it was Gregg can't take flights or I don't know what that was. Something to throw me under the bus.
Oh, whatever. Lars Hammond.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm used to it.
What's up, Lars?
Where's Lars?
Joe, do you think Gregg would get along best with Nick Vineyard, Gorilla Ed, Sassy Savage Goddess, Michael Novak, Soup, or Mr. Johnson? Ooh, see, these are all people that are from the kids table in the MSM family on the Instagram lives. They're all a little special. Sassy Savage Goddess is a meth addict from Canada.
Is that a girl?
Yeah. Where is she? In like Newfoundland or something?
Is she a legit girl, Joe? Is she one of
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh,
She's
okay.
legit, but she's a fucking, she was always in rehab or at the hospital. She's a mess. I feel bad for her in a way because she's actually like, she has seems like a personality is nice. Like she's not a mean person. She's just a fucking mess.
Yeah, but you know what, Joe? I got to admit, when I was younger, I kind of like cokeheads and meth addicts because they're skinny. I like skinny girls, you know what I mean? And they're usually into sex and they're usually into fucking like whatever you want to do. They're a little wacky.
Yeah.
I kind of like wacky. So skinny.
She had a Pornhub page and shit too. Fucking
Nice.
sticking dildos in there.
She's skinny. I don't know. No
Yeah.
chubs. No chubs.
Nick would drive him crazy. Hoog. Gorilla Ed, probably not too bad. I think Gregg can get it because Gorilla Ed's kind of quiet. Sassy, I think he would get along with because what he just said. Michael Novak, he was a young kid, so probably not. Soup, without a doubt, no, because Soup's a fucking pain in the ass. And Mr. Johnson, yes, Mr. Johnson is he's this black guy who lives in Detroit, and he loves female bodybuilders, and he wants them to choke him out with their legs.
Oh,
we got a very strange. It's a fucking lot of fun, but yeah, I think he would get along best with Sassy and Mr. J. Without it,
I love crack whores. They're skinny and they're fucking always willing to do whatever.
Yeah, we haven't heard from her in a while, so we don't know if she might have fucking God forbid
On the binge.
Yeah, hopefully not, for her sake. Craig, what's up, Craig? Thanks for watching again, buddy. Man, it must take Gregg 4 hours to write 2,000 words with his 2 fingers.
It does. One finger. I don't even use 2. I go like this. 1 finger.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. The fucking end result, it's fucking good shit, man.
Thank you.
Funny. Hey, what's wrong with okra? I don't even.
I know.
I can't eat any of that weird fucking hummus okra.
Yeah, when we were younger, we used to call them granola.
Wheat germ. Yeah, the granola guy. I like granola.
When you were in high
now.
school, you had the heads. You know what's funny? You ever see some of these like fucking from the river to the sea, those fucking gossip people, right? And you see these old hippies from the 60s. You could these old lady hippies, you ever notice that? They got gray hair and they're like,
and they're hanging with these fucking assholes.
Oh my God, you people been waiting for shit like this.
Oh,
like when we were younger and the hippies in the 60s and early 70s, remember? 1, 2, 3, what are we fighting for? Tony man don't give a damn. Next stop is
Vietnam.
That shit.
LBJ. Yeah, they're burnt out. They're all fucking
But that's the people today. When you see these old people, they all got signs and they're standing like on a corner and they're like,
they're from the fucking communes in the old days.
Yeah,
AJ,
man.
Those are the ones you see on viral vids beating up the skinny girls. Are you talking about in the airport, AJ? You know what it is? Sometimes I'm fucking so behind on comments that I apologize to you guys watching that if I mix up where what your comment was referring to. Gregg, is it true that Lucia calls you Gregorio? I call him Gregorio.
Yeah, she calls me Gregorio.
She does call him that, yeah.
She'll call me asshole.
Yeah. When Greg was at his biggest, how much did he have to eat a day to gain that, maintain that? So how much did you have to eat to maintain when you
Oh, I
were
just
fucking
ate. My
two,
God, I don't know. I ate a lot though.
two
I did eat
and
a lot.
the
I
high
could eat
twos?
a whole pie, Joe. You know, whole pizza pie and shit. You know,
Yeah.
I would eat a lot of food, a lot. But you can't do that now, dude. When you're 60 fucking years old, I'm
Oh,
gonna be 65. You
yeah.
don't want to be big like that. You'll die.
Yeah, no, you can't. Your metabolism when you're younger, you could fucking.
You guys think about this, right? In your lifetime, as long as you've been alive, how many times have you seen like an 80, 85-year-old man that's jacked? Now, don't give me this guys on YouTube shit. They're ripped, but they're not
Yeah.
jacked. They're not
No,
walking around with 20-inch arms. It's not
No,
happening.
they're in shape.
Right.
Yeah.
They're diesel. You can be diesel, have no body fat, but you're not going to be jacked.
But
That's
they're not
good for the
fucking.
heart.
They're not fucking huge.
Right.
Mike James. Hey, Mike, thanks. Have you either of you ever been
Mike.
bitten by a dog or other animal before, not including bugs? Of course. Yeah, I'm sure we
Yes,
all
I think
have.
I was bitten when I was young, definitely.
Yeah, I was mostly when I was younger, probably. I remember my dog bit my fucking nose. It was the fucking biggest thing. It was easy to find. So,
Well,
when
get
I
your
was
nose.
playing with it.
You should have got your nose out of its ass.
Yeah. I was almost finished. I couldn't help. Does Lucia function as Greg's handler when they fly out? Like, and just imagine she's the one who has everything planned in the check. So does she hold all the tickets and the fucking boarding passes and shit?
Yeah. Because I'm fucking shot. Yeah, she handles all
Yeah,
that.
my wife does that too. Like when I travel alone, obviously I do it. But when we're going on a family,
Yeah,
trip,
me too.
she's good with the passports and all the fucking paperwork.
Right. She has
and
the
shit.
pocketbook. You may not believe this, but I don't have a pocketbook. You know?
I do. What are you, bag hag?
The man person.
The power lifters annoy me most. Tripods everywhere. Really? See, in my gym, the power lifters, well, they do tape it, I guess. So, but most of the tripod crews are like these fucking like young 20-year-old broads that film every fucking set.
I don't really see the tripods much. I have seen a powerlifter or two do it. Like they're young though. They're not really powerlifters. They're idiots deadlifting, if you want to call that power. But I do see the girls on there, and they have the phone like this, and they're doing sit-ups and shit or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Holy fuck. Oh, Jesus. But powerlifters, I have seen videos of them, but most of the time when I see a tripod, I see a fucking girl putting it down and then she walks away.
Right.
Whatever. Listen, it's all good. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't get in my way. What do I care? The 3-putt mafia 13. Greg is 100% correct. Greg
about what? I'm usually not right about too much, but
just take it. Fuck it. We
right.
got Bush. That's Greg. Greg loves that.
Yeah, I love that. Of hairy Bush.
Greg loves Bush.
The hairier, the better. I'm old school from the 70s, bro. When you open up a Playboy, they had that big fucking
big triangle
down there. And if it kind of goes up towards the belly button, even better.
I know what you guys are talking about, Charlie says. Greg knows that's not me. It's these young punks that come and take care of me. His name is Ryan. He took my tablet and claimed to put it on a charger. So you see, Charlie, he's got the health aides at the home bringing him the tablet so he can watch the program. So that's good.
And then we saw Charlie trying to run away the other day, but he forgot to put on his clothes.
He was doing laundry. He had an excuse. Right?
Oh, that's what it is.
Stoof, ever taken Pervitin? I found it in my Argentine granddad's leather trench coat. What is Pervitin?
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. How do you? Don't just take shit you don't know what the hell it is. For all you know, it's like to stop you from masturbating or something, like saltpeter or shit they give. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I don't.
I never heard of that.
I've never heard of it. So Stoof, we don't know.
And
what year did
your
you get booed out of Yankee Stadium for taking steroids?
Who got booed out of Yankee Stadium?
You got booed out of old Yankee Stadium.
Oh, yeah. Well, they you took steroids.
When they showed you on the Jumbotron.
They didn't boo me. They were harassing the shit.
Steroids.
Yes,
right?
That's what they were doing. Steroids, juice, and my son was like 9 years old at the time. You know what it was? It was David Cohn's Perfect Game. And you know what's funny, Joe? At the end
1998.
At the end of the fucking game, people kept coming up. Do you have your tickets? I'll pay you for your ticket stubs. And I'm like, why would you want the tickets? I had already thrown them in. And I never thought about like,
Perfect
like this
game.
is a
That was a
right
big
legend. But guys were
stuff.
selling it on eBay. Like back then, eBay was a new thing. And David Cohn, we got rid of him. But I was at David Cohn's Perfect Game, and that's when it started. When the game started, we were there. When Paul O'Neill made that catch and shit, we were there in the bleachers, and that's when that shit started. It was 100 fucking degrees. And there was like 103
Sunday afternoon, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and Joe, the only time
some of it on TV.
The only time it actually rained in like the fourth inning, and for like 45-minute delay, and then Cohn came back out and that's never happened.
Oh
the guy pitches like 4 innings, and it rains. They start off with
another. They're done. Yeah, because they're cold now. They're afraid they're going to blow their arms out. He must have convinced Torrey. He's a vet. He knows his fucking body.
Imagine that, though. That's a stat that I can guarantee it's never happened before in major leagues. Nobody's not only in just a no-hitter, but a perfect game. And you actually had a rain delay for like 45 minutes or whatever it was.
And what inning was it in about? Do you remember about how far into the game did the delay?
It was 3 or 4 innings. Probably one of you guys could probably like Google that shit and find out.
But he had a perfect game going. Yeah. So he was probably like, I'm not coming out of this game, Joe. Fuck you.
I actually saw him in the dugout because we were on the first base side. You know what I'm saying? That's where we were. And then we got the box seats. I had the box seats all along, but then we were in the, we were only in the bleachers for like 2 innings. And then, when they started freaking out, and I'm like, look, my son's like, well, what are they saying? And I said, they're saying you and I, because they were like yelling at me, you fucking juice head, and I'm like going, okay, now I can't be fighting the whole stands with an 8-year-old.
Weren't they worried that you're going to fucking give them a left hook or something?
No. There's thousands. Some were cool with me, but they were like more or less like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, choose fucking steroids. You know what I mean? The crowd was chanting you take steroids. And then my son's like, what are they saying? And I'm like, they're saying that you and I better go sit in the fucking box seat. Because he wanted to be a bleacher creature. You know what I'm saying?
For the roll call and shit?
Right. So he wanted to be like a part of that. I want to be a bleacher creature. You know what I mean? And
so you had box seats, but he wanted to sit up there to try it. Okay.
Right. And my friends were all cops outside the stadium. And they were like, dude, whatever tickets you want, you let me know. I'll get them for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then they would give it, what's that, the 4-6 or whatever the fuck it was, or 4-4, whatever the fuck it is.
4, I think. Yeah.
My friends worked there. They pulled back, Greg. They're fucking giving me tickets. I had box seats.
Beautiful.
I actually bought the box seats. I got them from a scalper, but I was like 2 seats from the fucking field. And then, but he wanted to do so. I got my one friend, the cop, gave me the bleachers, and we were sitting in the right field bleachers, right where Paul O'Neill made that catch, and it was like fucking savagery out there, bro. They're maniacs back out there. Let me tell you, if you ever walked out there with a Boston Red Sox, you want to fucking,
they'll fucking jump you. Yeah.
Joe, you remember the movie? What was it? Kentucky Fried Movie, where they have the guy.
Oh, the fucking Daredevil, the evil Knievel guy in Harlem.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what he said too? He screamed out.
Yes, something we can't say now. They were shooting dice. Remember, they were shooting in the circle.
Like Harlem or whatever, and they're shooting dice and shit. And the fucking guy steps in the middle of the game, and they're like, what the fuck, white boy? And he's like, N-word. And he screams that shit out. And they're like, oh, hell, motherfucker. And they start chasing him. Well, all you have to do is put a Boston shirt on, a Boston fucking shirt on, go out in the bleachers and go, Yankees suck. You would never make it out of there.
You're going to get
never. Yeah. They're savages there.
They are.
That's like savage land.
They're fucking, they take this shit a little too serious, but whatever. They're fucking fans. They enjoy it.
Funny, Joe. Did you see what they did to Soto when he came out there? You remember, he's so loved. They all turned their back on him like this.
Yes, I did see that. You're right.
He started laughing. He started laughing because he expects you. They turned their back on him, Joe.
Yeah, it's like with hey, listen,
it's funny.
He's sparing them a little bit. I can see them being
funny, you know what I mean? Because they loved him. So, you know what is? Listen. Who was it? Reggie Jackson said they don't boo. They only boo a winner. They don't boo a loser. Like you're only if you're popular and you're loved, they boo. They'll boo you if you go against them. And other teams, they only boo you if you're good. They don't boo you if you stink. You understand what I'm saying? Like other teams. I'm talking about other teams. Your team,
the opponent's guy. Right. Yeah.
When you
Plus,
go to
he's
another
playing right field, so he's right underneath them. So,
right. And he
yeah.
was our guy, and they loved him so much. Remember they used
Yeah.
to chant last year, re-sign Soto,
Yep.
re-sign
He
Brian.
played catch with the kid in the
Right.
outfield during warm-ups. I mean, the fans, they got a nice little connection with
And
him.
what made it worse, Joe, was that fucking Aaron Judge, who grew up a Giants fan, a San Francisco Giants fan, lived right like 10, 15 minutes from the stadium, grew up a Giants fan, and turned down a bigger offer with
They
them.
gave him a huge offer.
And he turned it down because he
Yeah.
wanted to stay being a Yankee. And he thought for sure, look, okay, the Yankees offered him $760 million. The Mets offered him $765 million. Do you know what that $5 million is? That to you and I mean, I would blow George Steinbrenner, who's dead, but I would blow Brian Cashman on second base in front of the whole stadium, for that $5 million. But to him, it didn't even mean it. Look what he did. He went over to when he went to the Mets, he took that number. What is it, 22 or something that he is, right?
Yeah.
Who's the Met? Who was the Met guy that gave him
Brett Beatty gave him the number, and he gave him the truck.
He bought the guy a Tahoe or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. He gave him a nice truck in the spring. Yeah.
It's like a fucking $80,000 truck. Here, take it. Brand new.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm a Met fan. He should have re-signed with the Yankees. I'm just being honest. I thought it was a great fit there, and I thought he was going to sign there. I didn't think he was going to come to the Mets at all. But I know they were throwing big bucks at him. So,
well, you know what it is too. Also, the thing is, Joe, what I heard was that the Mets. Listen, you got a great owner. I'm going to tell you right now, the owner of Steve Cohen. Yeah. Steve Cohen is, dude. After having Fred Wilpon, I would again another one. I'd blow Steve Cohen on the second. He got you guys. Listen to me. Steve Cohen is the man. Okay, and he did what he said he was going to do. He said, "I'm getting that fucking guy," and he did. And he said, no matter what if the Yankees said, "I'll give you $1 trillion, $1 billion rather," he'd say, "I'll give you $1.5 billion." He would have outbid them no matter what. So they knew that the Yankees knew. But you guys got a great owner. I'm telling you, the Mets are going to win the World Series. Whether it might not be this year, but they're going to come close. Yeah. I mean, look at last year. You guys played the Dodgers better than the Yankees did.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm a Met fan too, though. You know what I mean? You got to understand. You take the Yankees out of it, I'm Mets all the way.
Yeah, the Mets have a good team. The pitching's it's starting to come down to earth. They were losing to the White Sox earlier today, but they won the first 2 games. So it's they win another. They've been winning series 2 out of 3. Every team that
Joe, the Yankees are up there in almost every category, and they fucking lost 1 game to the Colorado Rockies, who won 8 games. Joe, 8 games.
Yeah, it was 3-2 or something.
Yeah, but they almost lost
Colorado.
Every game was a nail biter, Joe. They should have fucking.
It actually was close. Yeah, so
every game was a nail biter.
That's why there's 162 of them, bro.
You're right. You never know. Let me tell you something. If somebody would have said last year, at July 1st, that the New York Mets were going to go all the way 1 step behind from the World Series, nobody would. They weren't even going to make the playoffs. If you talk,
they were playing horrible. Yeah,
if you talk to the Met fans.
Buried.
Am I right or wrong?
They were buried last year,
and they came back. July last year, right around that All-Star, but nobody would have said the Mets. And dude, not for nothing, but the Mets won 2 games against the Dodgers.
Well, they've. Whatever. Listen, both teams had great seasons last year. Both had great runs. The Dodgers were just a little bit better than both.
That's a stacked team. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see the clip of that woman breastfeeding a goat? Oh, Jesus.
What?
No. Was she a big Rob, Hoog? Why would you breastfeed a goat? Greg, what did your parents and children think of you when you was at your biggest?
Well, my mother wasn't alive, so my mother was gone. My kids don't give a shit. They don't see you like that. They don't give a fuck. If you talk to
You're just an old guy to them, right?
Like if you talk to Sylvester Stallone's daughters, it's like, that's my dad. They don't think of him as like, oh my God, I'm so lucky my father's a movie star. They don't look at you like that, Yeah. I think I amused my son more than he wasn't like really impressed with it. He was more amused. My daughter was cool. My father was old and then he died. So, but they didn't give a shit,
Yeah.
Your parents see you. I don't know if you have kids, but if you have children, you'll see, I mean? Remember when your parents nagged you, Joe, when you were young, they break your balls about shit. And then you get married and you have kids, and they say, aha, now I know why.
Payback time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And wait
My
till one
father
day.
used to laugh. He used to say it's payback time when my
That's
kids were little and they're running around, and my head was like, oh, Jesus, you know.
That's right. They sit back and they're like,
Yeah. It's
And
not
when
my
your
job
kids-
now. It's yours.
right. Now, one day when your kids have kids, Joe, you're going to be like, see?
Yep.
You see?
Like they said, that my mother used to, he was worse than the other two put together, you know. He was a handful. Egregious. Okra is a green, amazing in soups, and it's great for you. It's a staple for some of us Southern bros, just like grits. Love my grits and eggs for a quick meal and answer. I don't even know if I've ever tried okra, so I could be totally wrong. Egregious. I just was saying it as an example of some of this healthier food that you know, the nutrition, you know, IFBB Pro's nutrition, you know, plan.
Egregious. Are you trying to tell me that a grit can soak up more water down where you lived in? Right? Remember the fucking, what's the greatest movie ever? Fucking greatest comedy ever has got to be My Cousin Vinny. Are you trying to tell me?
Oh, shit. Yeah, the grits part. Yeah.
You remember that? Are
Yeah.
you telling me when it got to get in your house a grit? Remember that?
How long it took him to cook them? Yeah.
Do you cook instant grits? No self-respect in Southern.
Whatever.
Grits.
Okay.
So you're telling me that in your house a grit?
He fucking, I'm through with this guy.
And I'm done with this guy. Miss DeVito, you've been a lovely witness.
Yes.
Dude, if that ain't the greatest movie.
It's really good.
Dude,
Yeah.
come
And
on, you gotta
Macchio
admit-
was great in it too. I mean, everybody was great in it. You know,
Dude,
Fred
I
Gwynn.
Melissa Tomei, bro. I would have fucking
Oh,
I would have
God.
married her in that movie. I love girls like that's a guinea fucking. I
Oh,
knew a girl looked just like her and acted just like that. My a girl that I was friends with, it's her cousin.
yeah.
You know, and actually she's from down in Brooklyn, but she was fucking just like that Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei on fucking Seinfeld.
My time clock is ticking here, Vinny.
Yeah.
You're fucking around. What are you doing? Oh, you're gonna shoot a little toe idea. He goes down to drink and bam.
Excellent fucking movie.
It's
Son
the
of
best
Sammy Davis. Greg would have loved Arthritis Artie. Yes. We had Arthritis Artie was a gangbanger, black guy from the hood in Chicago. And he said his nickname was Arthritis Artie because he made some people have rigor mortis.
Oh.
Right?
What? Well,
Nick, am I right or wrong with that?
He should have been rigor mortis Artie.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think Arthritis Artie's what his friends used to call him because he'd get up out of a chair, like, you know, when them old black men are like, oh, what you got there in the crack of your ass? You know, give me that fucking gun and let me show you how to do it. You know,
he was a younger guy. He was like in his 20s, but he used to watch the show and he would come on the live and he was just, he was fun. He was a funny, good fucking dude.
Yeah, I like it. I like the name Arthritis Artie.
It was funny. Yeah. I think I that's what I'm, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be fucking up the explanation to Greg on that. That's so true, Greg, about ripped versus Jack. Talking about
He's talking about the old man. Yes.
Yeah, Stufer, is he really from Argentina? He may have fled from Germany. Yes, there is a big German populace in South America as of the 45 on.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Very big. Greg, wasn't that long ago you really unwell and in the hospital and the gallbladder stuff. It's great to see you back in the gym. Enjoy the simple life, bro. Shinobi, thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you, my brother. Yes, thank you, Shinobi. I appreciate that. Yes,
Greg's gone through a lot of fucked up throat cancer.
Throat cancer was really bad.
You had the diabetes, the fucking hands. You had so much shit going on.
The ERCP though, that was brutal. That was last February, not this past February, but a year before.
The
that
gallbladder
led up to the
stuff.
gallbladder. Yeah, what happened was they couldn't take my gallbladder out because it was so bad. But I was in because I had that ERCP where the stones blocked the blockage and the fucking the shit went into my your bile ducts. It blocked the bile ducts, so the bile goes into your liver, into your pancreas. You know what I mean? It could go into your heart. You know that's what happened to me. That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, that was fucking bad. Charlie saying he thought you were 64. He knows you have an August birthday.
Yeah, I am 64. I'm turning 65.
You can sing the Beatles song now.
I start getting ready to say I'm 65 now. So when I get there, it's like, I'm.
It's already there. By the way, regarding that infamous clip that AOC of AOC that Greg sent around, I looked every nook and cranny. It's scrubbed, so that probably means it was real, and she paid the. Oh, that was when she was blowing somebody in that
It
clip.
ain't totally scrubbed because I have it.
Yes, I did see that.
I'll
as well.
send it to you again, Joe, if you want it.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of hot, actually. If it's real, it's even hotter. The fake influencers with tripods are annoying as fuck. Yes, I agree. But if they're making money somehow doing that on social media,
I blame the gyms,
fucking-
though. I blame the gyms that allow that shit. Like if it's one thing if you want to do that, you do it in a corner somewhere. But I don't want to be in because I had to stop guys one time. Say, oh, listen,
you're in the background. Yeah,
I'm in the background. I don't feel like being in the background of your Facebook video.
I don't want to be
fucking-
here.
There's Gregg Valentino. I was on they had a actually where to buy some shit. I don't want. It's not. I just don't want to be in your video. Why should I have to be in your video? Do you want to be in
Yeah.
my fucking video? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm scratching
way
my
I feel.
balls in the back of some broad's
Right.
fucking video. The glute girls. Yes, the glutes are the best on girls.
I'd rather have nice glutes on a girl than big tits. I don't give a shit. I'm a glute man.
I'm gonna ask all the way, 100%. Nick says, according to me, Pedro Martinez had a tripod in the locker room. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He had a huge
had an
unclipped
anaconda.
penis. Oh yeah,
He had
that
an
thing was soft and it was huge. Yes, it was
You know what's-
tripods before tripods were in the gym. He had his
Well,
own.
he's Dominican, I think, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, we know that. AJ, he went crazy when he found out Kanye West went on tour in Argentina. And AJ is laughing. Kanye West is a big anti-Semite, isn't he? Isn't he got in trouble on social media and debanked and stuff?
Oh, he's nuts.
Pervitin was the meth that the Germans use. Ah, okay.
Oh, I remember that shit.
I
remember
didn't know what that name was, but now I've seen documentaries.
Do you know who was big? Adolf Hitler was big with all that shit.
Yeah, he was
He
a
was on
meth head.
speed and all kinds of shit. Yeah, man.
Steroids. Well,
Yeah.
what they had, it was bull testicle fluid.
Well,
They
they're the
used-
ones that started all the steroid shit. You know, steroids I think were first isolated for the
By
in the
Germans.
1930s by the Germans. Yeah.
by and used to make the soldiers more aggressive on
Dude,
the
Lord
battlefield.
knows what we would have technology wise because they were doing all kinds of robotics and crazy shit back then.
Oh,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? And in the 1930s and 40s, imagine what today if they would have fucking succeeded. Forget about it. We'd all
Yeah.
be speaking German.
Yep, those we might be. You're damn right. David Cohn's perfect game with a classic against the Expos. That's right. Greg really is the Forrest Gump of bodybuilding.
Well, baseball's like a box of chocolates. You get the
And I
white
remember-
ones, the black ones. No, listen, let me tell you something.
Joe Girardi hugged him at the end of the game. That's all I got to say about that.
Let me tell you something. I don't understand why David Cohn's not a manager or a pitching coach on anything. The guy's a genius. If you ever listen to him in the booth,
Yeah.
he knows where the pitcher's gonna go. He can tell you that. And when he didn't have it anymore, he would reinvent himself on the mound in the moment. He'd say, "Fuck, I'm cooked, but I need
Start
to get through
throwing
this." He would throw
off-speed
Ephus pitches, sidearm, underhand. He
Yeah.
would fucking throw try these fucking gyro. He would do these
Yeah.
pitches that never fucking and that's. I love David Cohn. He's my favorite. I would make him my manager if I owned the team. He's a genius. He's a baseball genius. So
he
is
had that 19 strikeout game. I think if I remember correctly, it was the last game of the regular season. The Mets weren't good that year. He struck out 19 Phillies at Veterans Stadium on a Sunday afternoon to end the last game of the year. And then they were like, I don't know, they were somewhere like that was like those 90, 91 teams that
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So he struck out.
He was a jokester too on that team. And you know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Him and Keith Hernandez are two fucking geniuses in baseball. Keith
Yeah.
Hernandez is pretty fucking smart too.
Oh, he's great on the fucking.
Tell me you wouldn't
broadcast.
want him as
He
a
knows
manager.
every fucking little nook and cranny.
Those
But
guys
he likes
are fucking
he
awesome.
likes to party a lot, which is good. Good for him. Fucking
So
why
does
not?
Cohn. So does
Yeah,
Cohn.
yeah. Well, Cohen.
You mix
yeah.
him with David Wells, forget about it.
Wells is he likes to drink. Yeah. Greg? Who would you rather have over for dinner? A 6'7" guy who brings his toy gorilla to Starbucks, which is Gorilla Ed, or a 67-year-old janitor who licks hamburgers and wears superhero outfits. That is Mikey, another one of our.
I think this
it's
6'7" guy. I don't need nobody licking my hamburgers and shit like that.
Yeah, Mike's a very interesting guy. Yeah,
To say the least.
He looks a lot like the serial killer. Who was the guy that killed all the nurses in the 50s and then had the tits? You know, remember he got like breast injections and he was doing coke in jail on video.
In the 50s, you're talking about?
No, he got locked up in the 50s and he did life. He was a serial killer. This guy, fucking Mike, looks just like him.
I know. I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Blonde hair, like surfer hair. I can't remember him now, but he goes.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He comes on my live and he licks the hamburgers. It's a strange community, but it's ours and we love it.
No.
Like James, my mother-in-law looks like Joe Torre with a blonde wig on. Joe Torre's a great guy, but he's not exactly a fucking.
He's not a looker.
Yeah,
he's not Brad Pitt.
He's just a big fucking nose guinea from Brooklyn. AJ, you know who it is. Joe's show Monday, he told a great story of him getting ejected at a youth soccer game. Yes. Has Gregg or his father ever been ejected at a youth game before? Gregg, didn't your father have
my father, yeah,
football game in high school?
With me in football in high school football, he went after the coach and shit. Like that. He knocked him down, and the guy ran and hid in the bus,
in the shack.
All the kids started jumping on my father to stop him, like the high school football team. And my father was swinging guys around by their fucking helmets, and then me out fighting with them. And then.
Andre the Giant.
You know what saved my father was at Portchester High School in New York, right? And I would say my father was the chief of police, was his friend growing up.
So
Johnny Super, Johnny Super. It was the chief of police. So when that police came and and it caused a big fight with my father and his brother because but I also got ejected because I told remember that? Let's see it with the last game that my daughter played in lacrosse and at her high school. I had an argument with another one of their fathers, and I told him, I'll fuck you in your ass right now. I'll take you behind that shed and fuck you like you're a woman. Right in front of your fucking wife, I told him. And the guy, the head of this athletic department, who used to be like buddies with me, came over and told me, that's it, you got to leave. Get out like that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't leave. I went in the parking lot, and I was trying to watch the parking lot. He came up there, no, you got to get off the property. I'm going to have you arrested. And then the game ended. And my daughter's like, what did you say to him? I shouldn't have said it, but he got me so fucking mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes you lose it, man.
Joe, some of those fucking high school kids, like, some of the parents are such assholes.
Scumbags.
Yeah, with their own kids and shit. And, fuck that.
The Mr. Who. Yeah, Mikey Fulper. Thank you, AJ. I couldn't remember his name. That's the hamburger liquor. Exactly. In the first one is Gorilla Ed. He was only on for one show. Yes, but it was a memorable show. He's a grown man he has a stuffed gorilla that doesn't look like, it looks like a cartoon like thing. And
a stuffed gorilla.
Called Munch, and he brings it with them. He's special ed, so it's like, and his name is Ed, so it's kind of, whatever. I didn't have the heart. I was nice to him because I couldn't help. I was like, I can't. He came on the show and it was men's. A
grown man would have well, didn't just the fake Charlie Arms there, didn't he come on with a fucking gorilla mask?
Yeah.
Bare ass naked.
But I think he's just got the dementia, because he's older. So he didn't realize that clothes are a necessity when you come on YouTube Live. Megan Gendrick. Why doesn't Gregg? I seen that Gendrick name and I was
what it is.
Else,
This is the same guy that's been playing games and shit.
Is that? That's the Olympic swimmer's name. That's
the guy who wrote my book's wife.
Yes. Okay.
And he's a cop. I should have him fucking. He's a police. He's like a chief up in fucking. I don't want to say
Nathan now.
Yes, Nathan's a cop.
Really?
Yeah. He got. He's been a cop for like 10 years.
Well, he should learn civil law as opposed to, criminal law. He's fucking you. Why doesn't Greg ever wear tank tops anymore? So he used to. He still look at Greggy. Show the guns. Well, tell your husband that me and Greg want to fucking chit chat with him,
and then switch back over and become Charlie Arms. And,
yeah, we want to talk to Nate. We want to tell him, ask him about some of that Amazon money.
But you gotta be some fucking wacko.
You gotta be good to.
You gotta have no life to fucking do.
You have phones all over the fucking table.
Oh, you gotta have fucking so much time.
I don't have the fucking the fucking mentality for this. The dude, what's up, dude? Did you buy the grits from the same guy that sold Jack the Beanstalks?
From Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk, right? He's supposed to get the cow, right? He traded the cow. How much did Greg get paid for the Nissan, or was it Honda? Oh, that was when the old lady slapped you.
No, it was Nissan. I did 6 commercials for them.
Miss Beauty Pageant lady.
Yeah, I don't remember. You know who was there? I did 2 Miss Americas. 2.
Yeah.
I can't even remember their names, but it was like one was like 2009 and one 2011 or something like that. Those 2 Miss Americas, something like that. And I got paid. I got paid good. I did 4 or 6 commercials.
Yeah.
I might get paid like $4,000, something like that. I can't remember. It was a while ago. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
You
know who else did commercials? The same guy that hired me to do that? Boston Lloyd.
Did he?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
For cause. Wow.
But they said he couldn't. He was a little bit shy. Like he'd be like, can it Corey apple? Zip, zip, zip. He was kinda like,
am I coming through out there, Chef of the Future?
they were like, meanwhile, I was like, come on.
It does all
man,
that. You were great now. The old lady slapped you.
Yeah, I have a few of them. There's one where I hit on this girl and shit. She's trying to buy a car, and I'm a car salesman. I hit on. There's a few of them. They're all funny. But the guy was telling me I couldn't really air to Boston. He might have aired one of the Bostons. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But he was telling me that Boston, like his personality, they kept having to tell him to do it all over again.
Quiet guy. He wasn't
quiet.
like this boisterous dude. Like
right. He was
funny on video and stuff, but he wasn't like
He was funny being himself.
Yes.
He had to try to be somebody else. I had to be a car salesman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a few times where I'm fucking around on there. And I'm saying all those. I have a whole bunch of those commercials.
Yeah, no, they were hysterical. I fucking love them. Joe, you got it right with arthritis. Artie, as far as I know, might be dead. Unfortunately, he used to have his phone number. It's disconnected now. Yeah, I remember Nick. You were telling me that a while ago. I hope we're both wrong. I hope he just needs to be off the grid for other reasons. He might be doing time. I mean, phone to be off the hook.
We don't want that.
Better than dead. What celebrity was the biggest jerk to you guys to meet or interview from your experiences? What say you, Gregorio?
I think it was Eddie Money, or one of them didn't seem like he was as bubbly or as friendly as what do you think? Was Eddie Money? There was one that I remember thinking.
Money was all right. He was just like, come on, guys. That was 30 years ago. Yeah, he was.
He was really lit. That's
the problem. Even
Artie Lang. Artie Lang was like,
Artie Lang was probably just fucking shot up right before he got on the phone.
And then Jim Brewer was good. We also had the other one, Jim Florentine.
Yeah, nobody was really a jerk to us.
No, they weren't really jerky. When I say, dude, I just saw Sebastian Bach. He looks like an old man.
Horrible, right?
He looks terrible, Joe. Terrible.
Yeah. He was the one from the bowling alley. That was one of the best lines.
Wait, I thought that. I mean, I think that the guy that took over for fucking Iron Maiden, the lead singer there, he was telling us some great stories. Remember, he was like, we were doing a 666, and he saw like a demon coming at him or some shit like that. Yeah. You'd have to watch it.
Yeah, nobody was really like.
Nobody was a jerk. I just thought Eddie Money might have been a little bit like. I just thought I thought he'd be a little bit more friendly. He wasn't as friendly.
He just wanted to get it over with. It seemed,
I like what's his name. I'll tell you who fucking. I mean, Ernie Banks was fucking amazing, and Mr. Cub, and he was talking about how he wanted to be a Yankee, and meanwhile they got he's Mr. Cub, and they got a statue of him outside fucking Ripley Park. Do you remember that, Joe?
One of my favorite interviews I've ever done, just because of who he is and what he means to the game. It's just,
What about Pat Cooper? He was pretty good too.
Pat Cooper was we were pissing our fucking pants.
Because he hated it. He was on the Howard Stern show. Some of you guys like, who the fuck?
Hamptons. Howard's in the Hamptons now. Yeah.
Oh my God. He was
Yeah.
fucking.
Nobody was really a jerk.
No, nobody
when
was
we
a
did those podcasts. You know, I guess like some guys, it seemed like they just wanted to, you know, all right, get it over with. But that's
we did all the mob wives. They were fucking great.
They were funny. Yeah. The mob
Rita,
wives were
great.
funny.
I mean, how good was fucking Big Ange from the
Ange
mob
was
wives?
awesome.
Oh, she was telling me a joke.
Big Steve, come to my house.
Come to my house. I'm gonna make you meatballs. You both. I want you both coming over my house. I'm gonna make you gravy and meatballs and gravy. Right?
Yeah.
Ange. And she kept saying, because you know, on the show, her, Drita, you know, Karen Gravano, we had all those girls on the show. On the show, a mob wife, they're all fighting each other. But she was like, "Oh, that's all bullshit. We love those are my girls.
Yeah,
I love them all. They're my girls."
It was all for the show. Yeah, it was a program. You know,
it was great. You know, it's
yeah.
Boss.
Yeah, Boss was great. Yeah, nobody was really a jerk to us. I mean,
nobody was a jerk, really.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was pretty cool that I can remember, which is, you know, the way it should be.
Eddie Money, I felt like he wasn't as uppity, you know, it wasn't like up like some of the guys we were talking. It was very, you know, they were very like up and, like, you know,
Mario Lopez was enjoying
Mario Lopez fucking
he didn't rush us off.
Andretti,
Andretti was great. Yeah.
Andretti was great. Mario Lopez was great. Even Donny Osmond was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, he was nice.
We talked to more fucking people.
They cut the promos for us. We said,
"Oh my God,
promo." Yeah, sure.
Jim Kelly, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, Joe. I can't even remember them all. There's a lot.
That's why I want to put that video with Hoog's song so I can remember some of these guys again. I got all the shows on my website, you know, the downloaded the podcast. The gym employees today don't give a crap. They won't even challenge people not racking their weights. Well, maybe they're getting paid minimum wage.
It depends what gym you go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some gyms people know to do that. Some gyms people are fucking assholes. You know,
dude, let me tell you something. Bob Bonham one time fucking stopped the whole, you know, he turns off all the music, and he told Jumbo Elliott, who played for the New York Giants and Jets.
Yep. Yeah.
And he was I think he was an all-star and everything, wasn't he, John?
Oh, yeah. It was Pro Bowler, sure.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowl. And Bob turned off all the music, and he gets on the loudspeaker. Jumbo Elliott, put back your weights now. And
Bob was a stickler with that. That was the old school.
Bob, if you put a fucking handle on a cable crossover, right? To do cable, if you left that handle, he'd say, "You leave that like that, take that off. Maybe the next guy."
Take it off. Yeah, leave it.
He didn't even want you taking a handle, and you can't put it on the ground. Put it on the rack.
On the racks. Yeah, that's my gym does that. I do leave some things on. If I have the long bar, I take that off because people walk into it.
Right.
But like
I the handles off, and I mean, I leave the handles on and shit. I'll leave the long bar on too. I'm not gonna lie. But I do strip. I
never leave weights on the machine or a bar.
Never leave weights. Never leave weights.
I don't leave dumbbells on the fucking floor or
But Bob was the kind that you couldn't even if you took that handle off and if you put it on the floor too, he would fucking freak out.
Yeah, no, there's racks for those things. That's
for you guys. For you guys watching this, some of you guys don't know. Some of you guys may have heard the story before. Joe knows the story. The Rock trained at Bob's gym. The Rock, you know, Dwayne Johnson trained at Bob's gym. And one time, The Rock came in. He said to Bob, you know, I only have this shirt. I don't have a shirt. I need a shirt to train in. Can you get me a T-shirt? And Bob goes, sure. And he gives him a strong and shapely T-shirt. And The Rock goes out there. He works out. And a couple days later, The Rock comes back in to train again. And Bob goes, hey, Dwayne, come here. I need to talk to you. Do you have that $10 for the fucking shirt I gave you? And The Rock goes, oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me get it. I didn't think, you know, okay. And he gave him the $10. That's the last time The Rock ever trained at that gym.
Good for Bob, though.
I know, but Bobby
it's kind of funny, but that was Bob, you know. That was, you know.
I know, but now The Rock probably used that shirt to fucking wipe his car down and shit. Like, you own that gym, you own Strong Shape. You're gonna want fucking The Rock to wear your shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's no guarantee he would have, so he get the $10. Right, Bob. To Bob, $1 a dollar. That's the way it was. Yeah. He'd be like, "What? You know what he would say? Well, of all people in here, you could afford it." Oh yeah. You probably have fucking only hundreds in your thing, so
in your fucking pocket. The Germans created the first anabolics. The East German secret, it was called. Well, yes, remember the
swimmers.
the weightlifting coach was drinking at the bar. This was like when Hoffman had the York barbell guys were going in the weightlifting Olympic team, and one of the guys, the doctor who created Dianabol in America, was talking to the East German guy, and they were drinking, and he talked to his counterpart for East German team, and he said, yeah, we got them on this stuff. And that's how he invented Dianabol, was the first by a real pharmaceutical company in the US.
I thought Dianabol was the first female fucking East German swimmer. Remember, they used to make jokes about them because they all look like dudes up there. Everybody's like, what the fuck? Remember, the East German swimmers were like, I'll rip out your neck and shut down the hall.
Yeah, East German was basically fucking Russia. I mean, when that war went up, it was part of the fucking.
That's what it was.
Satellite
communists, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was exactly what it was. Yep, they created meth and a load of other wild drugs we have today. Yeah, I mean, they had amazing fucking mechanics and scientists there. They didn't use it for good, obviously, for the most part. Nothing wrong with juice. I'm good with that.
Wasn't the
atom bomb?
Well, no, atom bomb made from one of them guys. They brought one of the Germans.
They brought him back for Operation Manhattan, whatever the fuck it was. There was a big rush to get to the scientists between the Soviets and the Allies, even though they were part of the Allies. Soviets wanted to get those guys so they can invent the fucking bomb. And so we don't drop 2 bombs on fucking Japan if we don't get those guys, if Russia got those scientists. And that whole Oppenheimer movie gives you.
Oh, let me tell you something. If Germany would have took over and Hitler would have, you would have had science. What's going on? You would have the fucking technology of today. You would have had back in the fucking 40s. I mean, he was so far ahead of shit. It wasn't even funny.
If he would have just used it for good, not for fucking evil.
Right.
He's a fucking scumbag. Have either of you had any experience with Polish D-ball? I know.
Yes.
Greg, why is it impossible to get now? I haven't touched D-ball in a while. I don't know.
Favorite drug was Polish D-ball. If you get real Polish D-ball, it came in orange strips and it came 20, like 10 and then 10. Oh my God, was that was I talk about that all the time. Metanabol. That was what it was called, Metanabol, not that supplement. It was the real deal. And let me tell you something, that shit was like, wow. I got big, hard, sex. It gave every good fucking, not water retention, but I just gave you the good qualities you want from steroids. It gave you. You instantly made gains, pumps, everything. It's my favorite drug ever was Metanabol.
And they were 5 milligrams?
I can't remember, Joe. I'm not sure. I just remember they were in an orange strip.
Yeah, I always remember you talking about Polish.
Yeah, you remember me telling me I love Polish people.
Yep. Charlie Arms cracking around. I knocked out Ricky Henderson when he played for the Yanks. Back from my gym. That track knows no music in the gym, and he brought in a boombox. Richard Speck. AJ, thank you.
Oh shit! Yeah, from the 50s.
Richard Speck. You know who I'm talking about now.
Joe, isn't that the guy? Right, isn't that the guy that fucking that movie with Jodie Foster, isn't it based off of him? You remember the guy that was dancing around?
Oh, Buffalo Bill. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, that was Fred Gein. Fred Gein was the guy. Wasn't Fred Gein Leatherface though? Wasn't he? No.
Well,
I think in a way it was kind of like a horror movie version of him, but I think Buffalo Bill was based on Fred Gein.
Yeah, but Fred Gein didn't cross-dress. That guy cross-dressed.
Yeah, but I don't think Speck did that in public. I think only once he was in jail.
I thought he did it in public too.
Went to the wild side then. Yeah, but there was a video of him wearing blue panties, no shirt, and he actually had nice tits. And he's smoking, doing coke with this black guy in jail. And it's like they got a video camera, and this is like probably like, I don't know, 1990. You know, he's passed away, but it's like, how did this guy he had breast injections? Yeah. They were legit fucking tits.
But you got to remember something though. Back in the 60s, it wasn't until the later 70s that breast implants really became a thing. And back in the 60s, because I remember Bob Gruskin telling me he believes that Arnold had in his calves, because he went from having 0 calves to having giant calves.
Yeah.
And the calves never shrunk. And he said that he believes, because back then silicone injections were
Yeah.
a thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And you never lose that. So he, back in the days when your mom and dad were young, my mom and dad were young, when stripper girls or burlesque girls had implant, they would actually inject silicone into the tit itself. There was no implants.
And it would just take time to,
Right.
you know, with each, and maybe he's had something snuck into the
Maybe.
jail. But good job, AJ. Thank you for that. I couldn't. But this guy, Mike, the hamburger licker, he is the spitting image of Richard Speck, which is kind of scary. But
does he have his nice tits?
I never saw his
tits is
tits, but he's got the same face and the same hair and features and everything. I'm brushing my teeth as you're reading this. Listen to Bluetooth speaker. Joe, please tell Greg about Bug Bouncer, who made Carolyn bury her own shit in the garden when she was visiting. This is a very troubling story, Greg. We have a man that lives in New Mexico. He is his name is the Bug Bouncer on Instagram. He's a guys that, what are they? Guys that get rid of the bugs. What do they call that?
Oh, yeah, pest control. Like if fucking yeah.
I can't think of the action. You know what I'm talking. Exterminator. Thank you. He's an exterminator. That's his real job. But he's got this long hair and he puts on these funny voices. Guy was very entertaining. And we have also Carolyn, who's an older woman who lives in Texas, who is a little wild sometimes. She does some crazy things. For some reason, she visited the Bug Bouncer. They have at least, I don't know, 20 to 30 year age difference, I think.
Oh, shit.
And she drove to New Mexico, and he wouldn't let us sleep or use the bathroom in the house. He gave her a tent, and then he gave her toilet paper and a shovel to bury her shit in. With I got them both on the show at the same time, and it was real one of my classical episodes.
That's some weird shit. She's
weird.
Lucky he didn't. They're out in the desert, but nobody else around. She's lucky he didn't bury her with her shit.
Yeah, well, this guy was a little out there, but I don't know if he was gonna do that. But it's like I think, and he was trying to say, because she brought her dog, and he said the dog had fleas, and he has dogs, and all I know is that it was good television, or Instagram vision, whatever.
That's funny.
Why do you think so many Todds are attracted to you, Joe? We all know Nick Vineyard screw you.
How many Todds are attracted?
I don't know. I can't explain why we get these special ed kind of fucking people that come on, watch the show and get on it. I guess it's kind of like Howard Stern's Whack Pack. It's kind of the same thing. It's like,
right, exactly.
It's just entertainment, and maybe it entertains them, because our show we don't talk about fucking bodybuilding. It's like this show, talk about everything but.
How can you sit
yeah. I think he should have came in 6th, not 5th.
Oh my God, he's about to hit a double bicep. There he goes. He hit the double bicep. It went into a fucking muscular. Holy shit.
If he held that pose longer, he would have won, Greg.
Oh my God.
He picked the wrong posing routine music.
I can't believe it. When I was young,
let's see the replay.
Bodybuilding's the greatest sport. Now I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie says, what's with the disrespect today, guys? I have nothing to do with these accounts. I'm lucky to have this one working. Charlie, we love you. We love you, man.
Yeah, Charlie, you're a good man.
You got a nice, who was it? Was it Annie said that he had a nice ass?
Charlie, you had a nice ass.
He had a nice ass, yeah. So people are commenting, complimenting. Stufa, are you guys going to do the haunted catacombs of Palermo? The cadavers have been preserved by monk methods, and they moved in the corner of your eye. Well, I have to go to Palermo. I've never been to Sicily, but I'm looking to go. But I would do that.
Did you, Joe? I think I might have asked you this, but for some reason, I talked to a few people about this, and it escaped my brain. What you said, but did you see any ghosts when you went to Gettysburg? Because I know you went to Gettysburg.
I've been to Gettysburg twice,
and
I didn't see any ghosts, but it was great though. It was awesome.
Do you believe any of that shit at Gettysburg? Because my cousin swears that they were out there, and it's a girl. My cousin is a girl, but she was telling me you know, they stayed at a haunted like bed and breakfast fucking thing, and they said
Yeah.
you wake up.
Oh
in the
yeah, they
morning-
have a fucking. There's like it's hard to get a fucking room there because
Yeah.
it's such a big attraction. It's supposed to be a haunted like it's like a hotel, but like I say, it's like a bed and breakfast.
Yeah,
It's
but you
more of a
don't think
hospital than a
you don't think
hotel.
like their son's downstairs with a giant magnet moving shit.
Yeah,
around?
I would be doing that. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, holy
Moneymaker.
shit, the fork just moved. Joe,
Yeah.
look, the fork's moving across the table. You know, Eddie,
Oh.
Eddie, get the fucking magnet, move it to the right. You know, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden your fucking kid's down there with this giant magnet. moving.
Speakers all over, you know, hidden in the wall and shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure you put that on Yelp there, you.
Because my cousin's like, oh, Greg, I swear to God, the fucking chair's rocking in front of the fireplace.
I know the place you're talking about. We looked at it, but it was you couldn't touch a fucking room there.
My cousin was
for
there.
a
She
long time.
swore she saw it rocking, and you'd say something, and the chair would turn like this and look at you, and you know, you'd be like, holy shit, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we were walking around the graveyard at night and the battlefield and stuff. And we didn't see anything, but it was cool though. It was fun, and
Right.
I don't know if I believe, but I'm becoming more open-minded as I get
Right.
older with this stuff, and I kind of hope because it's cool, you know. It makes
Well, it also lets you
fun.
know that there is something
Something
after this
down
is
the
not
road.
Just fucking like, you know, you're dead, you're dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you want,
yeah.
you know, if there really is something that opens up a whole new can of worms for
we
people.
wanna fucking, you know,
I'd be
our
afraid
our
something
loved
followed me
ones.
home. Yeah, I don't
Yes.
want that shit. I'm afraid that if I did do the ghost hunting shit, I want to do that. I would love to do it with you, but I'd shit my fucking pants because if I'm driving home and I see something sitting next to me and it's not my girlfriend in the seat next to me or some shit like that, or me and her are we're laying in the bed and all of a sudden the covers start going down. You know what I mean? Like there's something's going down. I'm getting the fuck out of the house. You know?
Oh, that would be crazy, Stu. I would love to fucking to do that. I'll keep that in mind. Candace, the one who tried anal. Hey guys, hope all is well. Greg, be careful. Don't brush your teeth too hard. Hope you are feeling better. Oh, because
Yeah,
of
I
the
am.
dentist. Okay.
You know what happens? I wasn't and I brush so hard and sometimes it slips and hit me up in the gum.
Oh, I hate that. Isn't it hurt like a cocksucker? And you
Yeah,
can't
man,
do
it
about
fucking hurt.
It just sits there like boom.
But then
boom.
I had like a fucking, I guess it started getting, I opened a wound or something, you know what I mean? So I had to go to,
Yeah.
I just came from the dentist.
Yep, that's he fucking. Good thing you had you didn't have any Novocaine, or else you would have been drooling while you were doing.
Oh
it.
God. Yeah.
Megan says the
Alright.
husband doesn't owe you anything, Greg. You want those who want respect, show respect. That was just trying to be nice and complimentary. Sounds like the Sopranos. Those who want respect, give respect. You see, kid, he just told me to shut the fuck up, and me to go fuck myself.
Charlie Arms, you're funny.
Charlie, I loved Ernie Banks. Where can I find this interview? Let's play two.
You know-
You can find all the interviews for the Met plus 9-4 to the surging White Sox today. If you go to multimedia on Muscle Sport Mag and go to,
It's on there, yes.
Yeah, it's on there.
Those are great
Oh,
interviews. You guys have no idea. Joe and I must have interviewed 50 to 100 celebrities. It was a lot of celebrities, but big
Yeah, I
famous.
had-
Today you couldn't find that shit. You'd have to, they'd all have to get paid and shit. You know what I mean? But we interviewed major celebrities.
Yeah, I had
You
Muscle
know?
Sport Radio. Where the fuck was it? Muscle Sport Multimedia. Because I had a different thing for Muscle Sport Radio, and I just put the Fitness RX in with that. It was
Yeah, you should just keep it all in one thing, I think. Because
Yeah, I did.
You know,
Yeah, it's on my site. For fucking, I don't know. My fucking Wi-Fi is fucking.
guys, Joe and I broke the story. I've already said this, but for some of you didn't hear it. We broke the story about
Oh,
there was
what
going to be a movie called Creed. You know the
Yep.
movie Creed, Apollo Creed's son. You know the new
The first
you know,
one.
had like 3 or 4 of them. The first one, and we had Paulie Burt Young from Rocky. We had
Yep.
him on our show, and he's like, "They're coming out with a movie Creed." And I said to him, "You going to be in it?" And he said, if they don't put me in it, it's sacrilegious. And son of a bitch, they had it that he had died in it, so he wasn't in the
They
movie.
fucking killed him off.
Yeah.
Okay, go to multimedia. Just click at the top link. It's multimedia. And then if you scroll down, you'll see Muscle Sport Radio, and it has seasons 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have entertainment industry, all the different names. I'm just curious which year that was. Entertainment industry. Just go to multimedia and Muscle Sport Radio, and then you'll see which ones are on there. But I'm looking over here. Donny Osmond, Mario Lopez, Maslow from the Big Time Rush.
James Maslow.
He was good. He was a cool kid, right?
Yeah,
he
but
had
you
that
see him
fucking
now.
little blonde with him.
It's funny you say because he's a kid. I saw him somewhere, and I'm like, holy fuck! That look at James Maslow. Like now
He's
like
older now.
Like
Yeah, he was like a kid
he's
then.
a grown ass man and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. Burt Young, Big Ange, Drea.
While you're reading that
Drita.
off, I'm just gonna go pee-pees. Keep reading it. I'll be
Okay.
right there.
Big Ange, Drita, Love Majewski from the Mob Wives, Farrah Abraham, Teen Mom, Frank and Mark Sorrento. That are the Sorrentino. That's from The Situation when him and his brothers did a show. We had the ex-wives of rock. They were the heavy metal broads. Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, Bumblefoot, Guns N' Roses, Sebastian Bach, Eddie Money, Melly Mel, Blaze Bailey, Iron Maiden, John Corabi, who was in Motley Crue, Bruce Kulick was in Kiss and Grand Funk Railroad, Don Brewer, the Grand Funk Railroad, Michael Sweet from Striper, Kip Winger from Winger, Comics, Brewer, Pat Cooper, Artie Lang, Rich Voss, Florentine, Don Jameson, Sports, Jim Kelly, Mario Andretti, Boss Rutan, Dan Hardy from UFC, Frank Shamrock, UFC, Ernie Banks, Dan the Beast, and Don Fry, UFC. So we had a lot of different people, entertainment industry, sports industry. So yeah, if you go there, you could find that. And this is a video Greg put together. Shinebox Productions. I haven't seen this in a while. Shinebox Entertainment.
You've been away.
I'm coming, Joe. Right here. Hold on.
Relax. Will you for crowds? What's getting to you? I'm
Breaking your fucking balls here, Tommy.
I'll go home and get your fucking shine box.
Motherfucker.
The following show.
That was great. That was great. We gotta. I think I put that on my. Did I put it?
Remember this video you made with the voice?
Too bad you can't put that on here. Can you put it on or no?
I can put it. Junkyard Willie.
I remember that.
Mario Lopez. Yeah, they used to play this at the beginning of the show, right?
Right, and then we
This
used to
is the
play
intro.
Oh, it was great. You guys got to see it. I think I put it somewhere. I think I put it on Facebook.
That was fucking. We had a
And
lot
then
of
you had
fun.
what we had DDP Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't have him on this list. Yeah.
Oh,
the
Joe, there's so many
DDP
people.
Yoga.
Yeah, you didn't read a lot of people. I mean, the Artie Lang, fucking the Reverend Bob Levy. You remember?
Yeah. Fucking who was the amazing racist? The Jewish guy who hates the Arabs. I forget that comic's name.
Ari Shapir. He's
Ari
Ari
Shapir.
Shapir.
Yes.
Who is Joe Rogan's best friend.
And he does that other thing on HBO. He dresses up like the white basketball guy.
Yeah,
you know, the wigger.
He does that shit.
He has characters.
He walked into fucking like he went into Harlem and he wore a Ku Klux Klan outfit and he went into like a fried chicken place and shit like that and he was trying to order the chicken and everybody's like this and the place looking at him. He went into a gas station. He had the Grand Wizard thing. He was in a gas station and shit.
He wanted gas in the cans.
Yeah.
We're having a party tonight. I need.
That's Ari Shapir.
Remember when he was in the priest outfit and he went to the Jewish
Yeah.
grocery store.
Yeah. He-
Sign this petition.
That
Jesus
guy's
Christ.
he is fucking crazy.
Oh, he's fucking nuts.
That's
Hello.
Joe Rogan's best friend. You
Yeah,
guys.
'cause Joe
you
is
see
a stand-up comic. Yeah.
You see him on a lot of times. He's on Joe. He smokes weed with Joe. He's the one with the glasses. I think.
Yeah,
Back then he had curly hair like a
Yeah,
monk.
he looked like Dr. Zorba a little bit.
Yeah, he had that Jewish,
tasty.
like the real, because he used to play that part. You know, he he was funny. He
Oh,
reminds me a little bit of He was actually doing that kind of shit, Joe. He's like Borat and shit. Like that.
Yeah.
But he was doing that before Borat was doing all
Oh,
that.
that's who I mixed him up with the Borat guy, with the white basketball guy. You just
But you think, right. But he was doing all that same shit, running into Harlem
Yes.
and shit like that. He would go get gas. He'd start, he would say shit like, I've seen him in a gas station, and he'd be going to get gas, and he'd have a fucking whole Ku Klux Klan outfit on, and he'd be over black people and shit, and they're looking at him, and he'd say, "Oh shit, I forgot my money. Would you be able to help me out?" And they'd be looking at him, like, "You motherfucker," you know what I mean? Like,
help me out.
he did shit that I don't know how he didn't get killed. I don't know how the fuck he didn't get killed.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the fried chicken place, and he had on the fucking the Grand Wizard hat and the whole
the fucking
Ku Klux Klan.
pinhead.
And he's on here, and he'd be like asking the black people, is the fried chicken here good? Is it good here?" And they look at him, "What you fucking asking? Motherfucker, don't talk to me." And they'd be saying shit like, "Does it come with like biscuits?" He would say the most fucked up shit. And then they chase him out. It's fucking funny.
Yeah,
Ari
he must-
Shaffir.
Ari Shafir. Yep. Miranda Wrights. It's one of my favorite names. Hello, gentlemen. Did you guys barbecue this weekend? I did a little bit of a barbecue on Monday. Did you do any barbecue?
I threw a steak on a grill, yes.
Threw a little meat on the thing? Yeah,
Always
definitely.
Not like a barbecue, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's, Memorial Day. It's known for barbecues. I would have knocked out Jumbo if he ever disrespected my gym. Bob was right. What did Bob say when you guys almost came to blows at his gym? He didn't even know it was happening.
Come to blows. Listen, that was just, you're trying to start trouble, whoever you are.
Bob
didn't even know what happened.
Bob didn't know. Yeah,
No, it was a little misunderstanding.
It was quick, and we did it.
Sometimes it was in and out. Sometimes brothers get in arguments over stupid shit. You know what I mean?
Stupid, and I take fucking responsibility.
It was both of us. You know what I mean? It was stupid.
But this, I read this. I remember you guys were said to be nose to nose, so I guess you were like 4 feet away from me.
That's good. Now that's good. That's a good one. You're right.
Oh, excellent.
That gets the
Paul,
bell.
Great job, Paul.
That gets the bell.
I was at the back end of the gym. Greg was in the front.
And our noses were touching.
They still weren't touching. And they still were bending. I think we should cancel Whoopi Goldberg. She's gonna let those people talk, because they look and sound stupid more than they say. I found out that's not a real name. She's culture appropriating from the Germans and the Jews.
Yeah, of course, that's not a real name.
And she actually was funny when she was a comic, and she was a decent actress.
Yeah, that's
like
not
in Ghost. She was good. She actually, I thought she was good in that movie. Linda McHands. Oh, this one's been around before. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it's a tranny. Yes.
If it walks like a duck.
Leatherface was based on Ed
treat
Gein.
it like a duck.
You're right, Greg.
I was right. Leatherface was Ed Gein, because Ed
I'm
Gein
wrong
was
then.
from Texas too. I think he was nuts. But that other guy that you're talking about, what's his name? I just forgot his name now. That guy would dress in drag. I think that was Buffalo Bob. I'm pretty sure it was the guy from that.
Speck. Why didn't Lou Ferrigno ever win a Masters Olympia? I thought he did win one. He was so damn big during his comeback to the FA Cavs.
The guy who cries racism all the time, Robbie Robinson, beat Lou Ferrigno in the Olympia, and they made the Masters Olympia basically for Lou Ferrigno to win it. So when Robbie starts all that shit, even Bob Chick was talking about that. Oh, they made the Masters Olympia. It was almost like a made show just for Ferrigno. And
and didn't Matt Mendenhall win one of those two?
Nope. Matt Mendenhall stopped competing. Never made he never won the Nationals. Never.
Oh, all right. There was somebody else that won one of those Masters. That
you know who did? I'll tell you. Thinking of name. It was what's his name? Won it. Vince Taylor won it.
He was he had a good fucking physique.
Oh, he had a great physique. He's a very nice guy too.
Yeah, I seen him at throughout the years a bunch of times at the shows. My picture is the guy from The Sopranos who dated Tony's sister that had narcolepsy. Oh shit, I remember
Then
that.
she
Yeah.
killed him. Remember, she killed him. Didn't she shoot him or
No,
something?
that was Richie who she killed. The narcoleptic was at the fucking table and he kept falling asleep. Yes, I remember that now. Mr. Green Jeans, this is a good one. I saw Ghost to the gym yesterday. It was leg day. That's all me, bro.
That's
I
fine.
didn't notice Greg being disrespectful. I guess we're talking about
Who's disrespectful?
is
About
that
what?
from the RX? I don't know. AJ wrote it. I'm way behind on comments, so I apologize.
How
AJ.
was I disrespectful, AJ? I wasn't disrespectful at all. I'm breaking their balls. They break my balls. I break them back.
No, but he's saying he didn't notice you.
Oh, he didn't.
Does-
I thought you said it was
yeah,
being
so
disrespectful. I break Dave's balls a little bit back, but I could
Yeah, it's not-
really I could
but-
say hurtful things.
yeah, but when you're doing a
I'm
show
not
that
gonna
has
do
a
it. Right.
comedic undertone
Right,
to
it's
it, you're
comedic.
supposed to do it.
I
Yeah.
don't let them get to me. Trust me, they don't get to me. When they
Yeah.
go after me, I do not let them get to me.
Ball breaking is fucking welcome.
Right.
You know?
Because I have nuclear warheads if I had to, but I'm not using
Yeah,
that.
but why? You
I'm
wouldn't
not
do
like that. Right. I'd
No,
rather
you're
I would,
not.
if they got me that upset, I'd rather just not do the show than fight with them like that.
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
enemies. I
You're
don't
not
want
gonna
enemies
do-
like that. You know what I mean?
Nope.
I'm non-confrontational. I get along with everybody.
Yeah. Arlene Kelly, Greg, why were you not self-admittedly not faithful to your wife? Was she a bad lover or were you the problem? No disrespect.
I was the problem. You know what happens? When you're doing the dirty deed, you're drug dealing, right? It's like mafia guys. What happens is you
Hanging
make
out-
the money.
You're out all the
right?
time.
Mafia guys don't sit around at 12 in the afternoon and do their shit. They go night. They go to social
3 in the
clubs,
morning.
They have their
Yeah.
own little thing going. And before you know it, my wife was 100% in the right. I was 100% wrong. My wife is a good-looking girl. You know what I mean? Everybody thought I was nuts. But I was too caught up. And one day, it's like standing on the ocean, right? You go out on the beach, and the water's up to your knees, and then it's up to your waist. The next thing you know, a riptide. You're way the fuck out there, and you're like, how the fuck did I get out there? And you can't just get out of it. You're too deep into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start fucking around. And she knew it, and dealt with it for a while, just like mob wives. You don't think they're fucking like John Gotti when he'd be out there fucking. What's the famous mob wife saying, Joe? Friday nights for the gumad and Saturdays
Saturdays for the wife. Yep, exactly. Yeah. So you gave that's an honest answer, and
right. That's the way it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get involved in shit. And you know what's funny? Women look the other way when you're coming home bringing a lot of money. And I was bringing a lot of money home.
Yeah, that does help it sometimes.
You know what
How
I mean?
many reps and sets for each body part? Greg does all different things. Like
It depends on the body part, my brother. I like higher reps, but for me, when shit starts to burn, I follow the Mike Mentor rule. When shit starts to burn at like 8 or 9, then I squeeze out another 4 or 5, and that's why by the time I'm done, that's the growth. That's when the growth begins. Guys that sit there and put all this weight on and squat 6 reps, you walk on your legs. They're used to being beat up. If you think that 6 reps is going to make a leg grow, I don't care how much weight you put on it, you're wrong.
No time under tension.
Tom Platz used to take fucking 315 and do it 50 times.
Yeah. Who the fuck is Charlie Arms? Charlie Arms is a friend of Greg's from a long time ago that we.
Charlie Arms was a legend in bodybuilding.
Yeah, this is a guy
in the
just used
60s
them
and 70s, right?
Yeah, old gym owner from back in the day.
He was a bad dude. He did like 20 years in prison. Like, he was a wise guy, and he was no joke. He drove a motorcycle. He was a bad dude. He used to knock dudes out. He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He didn't own the gym. He used to work at White Plains YMCA. He was just a legend. He had supposedly he was natural. I'm not sure, but he had over 20-inch arms back in when Arnold was competing and shit.
Wow. All right, Joe. Did you watch Farrah get backdoored by James Dean? AJ. I guess you met. I was reading off some of the names. We had Farrah Abraham, the teen wife.
Yes.
The teen mom. I didn't see that. Is that is she does an anal thing? Remember when she was doing the pussy mold? She had the mold,
wait a minute. Wasn't she selling that shit or something?
Yeah. It was like a fleshlight, but it was
right
of her actual.
Yes, I remember something like that, because it's just like guys, these male porno stars, they get their dicks made into like molds, and you can fucking buy
Women buy the dildo.
stick. Yeah.
They
do that even today. These girls and the OnlyFans, I see them do shit like that.
Mine could be on a keychain. if I did that. Roger Babbitt. Who fucked more whores back in the day, Greg or Charlie Gasparino? My uncle went to Pace University with him, and he said he was a huge poon hound. Greg's not going to.
Wait, you're talking about Charlie went to pay when
I guess
Charlie
he's
went to pay.
talking to
I didn't.
Charlie.
First of all, I didn't go to no Pace University, but Chuck did, and we call him Chuck. I don't call him. Charlie's his name, but we call him Chucky. He wasn't a poon hound. He was not like that. He's
a good-looking guy in good
fucked
shape.
around.
He probably had a lot of women.
I'll tell you what.
When he was
He
younger.
was a fighter like you don't know. He was a
he's a
fighter like you
boxer.
guys have no idea. He was a boxer. And he could I've seen him knock out guys when we were ninth grade together. Ninth grade. He was knocking out guys, seniors, grown men and shit. And in the street and everything. He's crazy. He could get really nuts.
He's
can
fucking.
fight.
You could see him on the TV with the suit on. You could see he's fucking.
And you know what, Joe? He still hits the bag. When we do our thing, one day we're gonna do something with him.
Yep.
But when you go down there, you'll see him hit the bag and he bang, 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 like this. He spars. His brothers in MMA all around. He was my training partner, Jimmy. His brother Jimmy was my training partner in my prime when I was like in my prime.
Yeah.
And his brother is a fucking another one. Does MMA, obsessed with like fucking would never eat a carbohydrate. It's fucking nuts.
That's nuts, man. Have either of you ever had a girl suck it so deep she almost got reacquainted with her breakfast? Oh, you mean like gagging, the gag reflex?
Yeah, but that's
it's been so long I can't even remember, Greg.
Yeah, but you know what, Joe? The last thing you want is to fucking some girl hurling on you after you fucking stick your dick all the way down her throat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then what are you gonna do? You can't even fucking jerk off.
It's not the deep throat; it's the constant movement like this. You don't want somebody to go and see when guys push their head down like that. And then let me tell you something. Once she pukes, for me, it's over.
Yeah, I think for her, it probably
I get
is
the wickedest hard on. It's gonna go. Yeah, she's not gonna be happy with you. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, she's gonna sit up like this and yak right in your fucking mug.
Sammy Davis. Nick this is a great question, Nick. I never actually thought of this. Do you guys believe the old rumor that Hank Greenberg, Detroit Tigers, legend, would have beat Babe Ruth's 60 homers record, but they didn't pitch to him because he was a Jew?
No, I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe he would have.
No, but let me.
You think that they were like, coordinating against them? We don't want this guy to come close. So
I think that's Jewish folklore. He's a nice Jewish boy, Hank Greenberg. Let me tell you about Hank. Fuck Babe Ruth. No, listen to me. I'm not. You want to talk about Babe Ruth? I did a whole thing from MD. I don't know if you remember this, Joe. It's before you worked there, but I did a whole thing when Barry Bonds when Barry Bonds was about to break the record. Yeah. So I did a thing, Babe Ruth versus, I went and took all the stats. I actually laid it all out and everything. It wasn't, did you know that one year Babe Ruth batted in the 380s? That was his final batting, like 383. I would have thought Barry Bonds would have beat him because Barry Bonds was a high average hitter.
Yes,
I knew Hank Aaron didn't stand a chance. Hank Aaron had like 4,500 more at bats than Babe Ruth. And Barry Bonds had like 2,000 or 3,000 more. Yeah. Babe Ruth didn't even take the game. He played for the fun of the game. He didn't take the game seriously. Yeah. Didn't even show up at spring training. Would sit in the fucking, pull my finger. You know what I mean? And he would fucking sit in the goddamn dugout. Yeah. And he was a party animal. And he would sit there and he'd eat hot dogs and drink. What's the famous story that I don't remember whether it's Miller Huggins. One of them hated him or Jack McCarthy. One of them hated him and one of them loved him.
McCarthy, he didn't get along well, but he wanted to take over and become the manager.
Who, McCarthy? Which
Joe
one?
McCarthy, and the Yankees were like, no. And so he said, give me my release then. I want to.
Right, I remember.
I want to pursue it elsewhere.
Well, they bullshitted him. They said, one day, and he never got. Yeah. But the thing is that one time, so it was McCarthy. So one time, Babe Ruth told the bat boy, hey, go in the fucking stands, go get me a beer and I want a beer and get me a couple of hot dogs. And McCarthy looked at the bat boy and said, you fucking go do that and you're off this team. You're done. You're fired as a bat boy. And Babe Ruth said, this is my fucking team. Don't listen to him. Get your ass over here and go get me a beer and hot dogs. And the kid went and got the beer and hot dogs for him. And he stayed. He didn't lose his job because Babe Ruth ran that fucking. Babe Ruth was like, you're not going to go against Babe Ruth. But Babe Ruth didn't take the game seriously. Smoked cigars. Dude. Yeah, Babe Ruth played in the dead ball era where balls weren't made today with machine honed, where they were checked, right to the hours.
Greg, they used one ball for most of the game. They
Yes,
would
that's
throw it
true.
back from the
You had to throw it
stands.
back, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Until it was unplayable, until the stitching actually and part of it was peeled, then they threw a new ball in. If that ball was fucking still intact, they played 9 innings with that fucking
but those
same
balls were not
baseball.
made the way
But they
are
weren't
today.
made. No,
They
were
weren't. Not
fucking
every
flawed.
ball weighed exactly the same.
Nope.
Even the bats. Those guys didn't get like today. When you get a wooden bat, those trees are grown for that. Like they're
Yeah.
special wood. You know, they put hardeners on it. Those days, guys went to a fucking some guy that had whittled. You know, they'd fucking hone out a bat and shit like that out of some dead tree. It wasn't the same. So what he did was fucking even more amazing. I mean, you gotta remember.
And for the first few years of his career, when he pitched, he wasn't playing every day.
He didn't.
So his
That's
at
what
bats
nobody.
were lightened. You know, what his home run total would have been if he
Oh my God, Joe!
played every day from day one.
You got to remember something. What did the Yankees pick him up in 20 or 21? And he came right, and he came up I think in 14, wasn't it? Or 16?
15 or 16. So for like 4 years or something,
I think
he
it was
was
like
a
5
pitcher.
or 6 years. He was a pitcher only, guys. You don't even know that he didn't play every day. He was and you know what's funny? He destroyed the Yankees as a Boston Red Sox.
Great pitcher.
Oh my God! He came back and pitched in 1928.
He pitched a few games for the Yankees later in his career.
Later in his career, and you know what? He pitched a 5-hitter at one time where he hadn't
pitched for years, and he was fat.
You couldn't make this shit up, dude. You talk about Ohtani. He wouldn't even want. If he
the
had
fuck
what they,
out of here,
dude, they weren't watching videos. They weren't watching computer generated shit. They didn't have like batting machines back
he
then.
didn't have anything. He just
Gyms.
fucking
Dude, Joe,
no gloves. Just get me up at the fucking plate, and I'm fucking here. Pitch.
Dude, back then they had that machine. It looked like a wash machine. It had a fucking belt on it. It would wiggle your fat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would take the medicine ball and throw it back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see. And spring training this year, the Yankees, you had all those old films, you know,
Oh, my
Luke
God.
Gehrig and Babe Ruth getting ready.
Even when they would throw like, you know, like this, and they'd catch it. They used to actually catch with 2 hands, almost like this, right?
Yeah.
It-
They had those little gloves that were like,
You guys have no idea how good Babe
The
Ruth
Babe.
really was. He was a man playing with children. The guy who
greatest
had the
athlete of all time, and he was not athletic.
listen, he
That's
fucking
end of story.
But you know, he was also a big guy. I think he was 6'4" or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
he was a big guy. But here's
Probably
the
had
thing.
a big hog too. He probably had to be packing.
Yeah, because he was German, I think, right, George? But listen, here's the thing, though, what you guys also don't understand is that the guy, when he came into the game, home runs were not a thing.
They looked down on them.
Home Run Baker had 8 home runs. That was it.
Philadelphia Rays. Yep.
Yeah, Home Run Baker, 8 home runs in a year. That was like, wow. Because the game wasn't made to be played like Ty Cobb, the ultimate fucking great Ty Cobb. I don't even know if he had any home runs. What did he have? Like 5? He didn't hit.
Well, he used to make fun of the home run. He said that's not real baseball. If I wanted to hit homers, I could do it anytime I want.
Right.
I find fucking gaps.
He say, what good is a home run? You hit the balls one. You want to hit. You know, it was more like, you know, smack the ball into the safe, smack the ball.
Yeah.
Into that. You know, guys with bunting. Fucking Babe Ruth was like, fuck this, I'm gonna launch it. And
yeah. He
there's nobody like him.
Broke the mold. He changed the game.
There's nobody like him. Nobody. If he had today, if he was alive today with the way they, you know, are strict and with diet and foods and training and looking at videos and watching computer things and figuring out the pitches and with hardened bats, hardened baseballs, he did 100 home runs easily today.
Yeah. And Hank Greenberg
here.
It's not taking anything away from Greenberg, who's one of the arguably probably in the top 10 to 15.
Unbelievable baseball player.
But Babe Ruth's in the class by himself, and everybody else is a far second and less after the Babe.
It's also I don't mean to get crazy, and I know some people don't want to hear this, but even fucking Michael Jordan, you can't compare LeBron James with Michael Jordan did shit that nobody did. I mean, he'd stand there with the ball fucking in his hand like this and fly fucking 10 feet. You know, and then go in the air, you know, 10 feet. I'm talking about jump.
Yeah.
But like this and go in the air and slam balls. Before, nobody did that shit.
LeBron's not a fucking pimple on his ass, bro.
You cannot compare. LeBron is just a giant gorilla. You cannot compare.
He's a fucking selfish fucking player.
And
Michael
Joe,
Jordan made the players around him great, and that's why they won titles. They didn't even have great players on that team. They had Pippen, they had okay players, B.J. Armstrong, Horace Grant, and stuff. But and Rodman, but the only two like great players they had was Jordan and Pippen.
well, let me ask you a question.
That was their murderer's row.
Yeah, see, I hate basketball, but let me ask you a question. Didn't somebody just break what's his name's record? Wayne Gretzky's scoring record or some shit?
Yeah, Ovechkin from the Caps.
Yeah, but you're not going to tell me there's nobody. Wayne Gretzky's like Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
Wayne Gretzky. Come on, man. You can't.
Ovechkin he's big and he's got great moves. He's Russian. He's like a fucking anomaly. Though.
Yeah, but you also have to. You guys have to understand something. When Babe Ruth pitched, or when Babe Ruth batted, the mound was higher. The game was different. Today, look, they even made the bases bigger. Joe, why you got to make the bases bigger? You can't count these stats. Today's the stats are different. You can't put that shit. It's a different era. There was no DHs. You know what Babe Ruth would have done today? He wouldn't even have to play the field. The guy couldn't even walk. He was hitting home runs. He would hit a home run, and they'd have to have somebody run the bases for him.
That fucking 32 World Series at Wrigley, the called shot. You can see how he's fucking hobbling around.
He couldn't even run the bases. Yeah, but you know what's funny? People don't know that he was thrown out of baseball for a year for going in the stands.
Yes, yeah.
And you know what's funny? In the movie with John Goodman was one of the most accurate because that was
a good one. Yeah,
the story where they talk about when Babe Ruth first came up. Babe Ruth grew up in an orphanage.
Yep.
Right. And he was so used to being around boys, he didn't know how to handle himself. So when they brought him in front of the media and they said, "Babe, do you have anything to say?" And he looked around, he didn't know what to say. So he wanted to break up the mood. And he went, and he threw a fart. And back then, dude, this is 1910 or whatever fucking, and they were like, did he just throw a fucking fart? You know what I mean? That's when women wore baiting caps on the beach and a fucking like a pants outfit, you know?
Yeah, they were fully covered. Yeah, they're like fucking Arabs.
I mean, if they saw a bikini out there, somebody would have fainted, be like, that's so X-rated. But I mean, like Babe Ruth threw a fart at a fucking He was, you know why he was backwoods? He loved to pull pranks. And do you know why his ball's not worth as much as like Ty Cobb or somebody like that? Because he wasn't a prick. He signed baseballs for everybody.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong, Joe? His baseball's not worth it because
he was big with kids. He loved to do shit with little kids.
Man.
Yeah, so those videos are funny. Hey kids, I'm going to show you how to throw a curveball now. Really cool videos. It's it's amazing for the time period. But yeah, fucking Babe Ruth. It's not even it's a totally separate conversation. It's not even.
You can't even put him in the same ballpark with these guys. It's just a different animal. The game has changed. The parks have changed. The whole. I mean, what's now Monument Park in deep center field was on the field when Babe
on the field.
Right. There was no money, but they made it because of Babe Ruth. They put but that was once part of Yankee Stadium. Dead center field was 5-something. I mean, the man was just a monster. He was a monster.
1923, the house that Ruth built. They played 3 years at the Polo Grounds with him. What's going on with the Means case? Does Gregg personally think he's going down or running free? I like Amin, by the way, and Andy's a grown man. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I wish him the best. I agree.
I like Amin. I get along great with Amin. He's actually a really nice guy.
He's a nice dude. Yeah.
I knew Andy Hammond too. He was a great guy.
He was cool too. But I agree. Andy could have said no. He didn't have to take
involved in any of that, and he doesn't talk about it. When we're alone,
he's smart. His lawyer is probably telling him.
Doesn't talk about it.
He's probably telling him you shouldn't even be on the air.
I wouldn't talk about it either. Right? I would never talk about it.
I meant the message from Megan. She said something about Gregg Valentin. Oh, AJ, I'm sorry. Yes. All right. Yes.
What happened?
Before, when he said Gregg wasn't being disrespectful, he was talking about the comment from the fake Nathan's wife account.
Oh, that's okay. I understand, AJ. No, it's good. You're good. I understand what you meant. I know you didn't.
One of our boys, man.
AJ's a great guy. I know that.
AJ,
I didn't take it wrong. I understand.
Yeah. No, actually, I read it wrong first, and then I reread it. But now I know what he was talking about. I heard Gregg talking about Seaside Heights before. Did he see all the arrests that were made there this weekend? Were they arrested? I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see any. That was my.
That was with Jersey Shore with Seaside Heights, right? Where they were.
Yeah, man.
I used to go there 98, 99. I'm trying to think. You know, like late 90s, we used to
I've
go
been
there.
there. I used to go there every year.
You
Every
used to
year.
go with your kids. Yeah, I used to go with my
I-
friends to get fucked up.
I got my daughter, my niece, and my girlfriend's brother. We're in a scene on the Jersey Shore TV show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with
That's cool,
the-
man.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that guy Paulie D, the DJ, and the other kid,
Yeah.
Vinny, they all knew who I was. That girl Sammy Sweetheart was making eyeballs at me. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh shit, yeah, she was fucking cute too.
Yeah,
we were,
yeah.
we were all in a place together, and I was talking bodybuilding with Vinny. He was talking to me about it because when I walked in, Paulie D goes, "Yo, Vinny, look, your boy's here, because they read the Ramblin' Freak." So I
That's
got them in
cool.
it. I got them all in a scene in the TV show.
That's good, man. Good for you. Good job. What's the latest with the Leo Rex case?
Oh God, I don't have no clue. I have no clue anything about
Same
that.
here.
No.
Greg, how does Greg explain Dorian Yates being so dominant training the way he did? It worked for him.
I mean, everybody's different. One man's junk is another man's gem. Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous quote: "I tried fucking Mike Mentzer's training, and the worst thing that can happen to a bodybuilder happened to me. I got smaller and smoother." That's what Arnold said.
And look at Mensa and his brother and all the
I
people
believe-
that follow
listen to
that
me.
principle.
Joe, I believe that your daughter and your son, right? They have two different personalities, not just because they're boy,
Yep.
but they're different kids. So you got
Yes.
to treat each kid differently. Each one, you got to treat. It's like your body parts. Each one's different. You have to treat it accordingly. The
Yeah.
biceps is small muscle. You use your bicep a lot more than you use your pecs to do things. You understand?
Yep.
So there's certain muscles that are involved in everything you do. So those muscles, I believe, can take more of a beating than something that doesn't get used much. Do you understand?
Sure.
You
Yeah.
walk on your fucking legs. You walk on them. Okay?
All
Doing
day long.
6 reps and 3 fucking sets or going halfway down on a squat. It's not going to do anything. You walk on that muscle. That muscle's made to take a beating. So you got to give it a beating. A pecker's not made. You don't use your pecs in a lot of things. It's more white fiber than it is red fiber. Your legs are red fiber. It's different. It's like a bird, like a fucking. If you cut open a regular bird that flies, his chest is dark meat. If you cut open a fucking bird that's a land bird, their chest is white meat and the legs are dark meat because they walk around.
Good fucking point. I never looked at it that way. That's a good analogy. Charlie Arms, completely natural back in the day. Only started running stuff when he was competing 15 to 20 years ago. I have no gag reflex. Unfortunately, I got my uvula taken out as a teen. It's actually dangerous. I have to be careful. Wow, that's
Wait a minute. You got your who said that?
Candace, the one who likes.
Okay.
So she does anal and she could fucking go take the whole fucking thing down to the fucking shit.
Out. It's funny.
She's got a happy hubby at home.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys, but you looked at Hank's numbers. He had 58 homers in 9 games left. He was walking hit by a pitch, combined 22 times during that stretch. Good, interesting thing.
I don't know. I think a lot of that is a little bit of folklore that they didn't like him because he was Jewish. There were other Jewish
But still,
players.
to have 58 homers with 9 games left, you would
Dude, are you
think
kidding me?
he's right there.
Dude, the guy was a fucking great baseball player.
He's awesome. And he lost like 2 years fighting in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen, let me tell you, you could say the same shit about fucking a bunch of guys. Like, what about fucking Ted Williams?
2 wars.
2 wars, fucking. Wasn't he in the Air Force, Joe, or something?
He was,
Air Force?
he was.
Did he
was
fly
in the
planes
Navy
and
or Air Force. He was an ace. He had 5 shoot downs in World War II.
Yeah.
Insane.
And
This
a fucking guy came back.
player in the game.
I mean, you could get guys like him, Joe DiMaggio. Those guys fucking batted. 1 year, Ted Williams batted 400.
Yeah. Could you imagine if they shot him down and he was a POW? The fucking propaganda that would have been for the fucking the Germans.
But
Would have
these
been
guys,
nuts.
even Yogi Berra, these guys left baseball to go do that shit.
The Navy. Yogi was in the Navy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all did. They wanted to go a lot.
They wanted to go.
because it was the thing
Even
to do.
even Elvis Presley was in the
Elvis, well, he made a deal. He wasn't going to get in trouble, but he also was patriotic about it. He didn't go and fucking the quartermaster and shit. Greg, it's down to the muscle fibers. Some guys respond well to hit. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Everybody has
each person's different.
Has Greg ever had sex on a baseball field before, since he loves baseball so much?
No, never had sex on a baseball
But that
field.
you had to think about it, though. That's a positive
But
sign.
I there's a few times I was thinking about the Yankees while I was having sex.
The old
Does
think
that
about
count?
baseball. Yep. Do that now. I can't get back to where I was. So I just gotta let it go because I'm old now. So it's hard to get there. So I don't want to fucking ruin it. Do you guys think Babe Ruth would talk to the feds like Jerry Ward did? I'm not going to even address that. Have either of you ever met Donald Trump or been around him back in the day? No, I have never had the pleasure of being any near him, even as far as I remember. I don't think I've ever even been on the same block as him. So,
My sister.
I wish I was, though.
I got pictures of my sister with Donald Trump. Her husband worked with Donald Trump. My sister and my nieces. Her husband worked for Donald Trump.
Right.
He worked security on his son's golf course on what's his name? Lived there. It was Donald's golf course here in New York. No, the other one, Eric. And my sister got to meet all celebrities, everything. I got pictures of I'll send you one, Joe. My sister.
That's cool, though.
And Donald Trump.
The closest I got to him was at a rally. I got there early and I was on the kind of close to the stage, but that doesn't really count. Isn't LeBron the one who staged the hate crime and blamed Whitey? No, dude, that was the kid from the TV show, the gay kid. LeBron did.
Oh, you're talking about fucking Juicy Smollett.
Jussie Smollett, yes.
Jussie or Juicy.
No, LeBron's the basketball player. He spray paint. Oh, yes. No, okay. No, Hoog, you're right. There was something. I don't think it was ever totally proven that he spray painted his own garage and fence, but there was some kind of graffiti with the.
Or he got his kid to do it. It's just like
I don't think he personally did it, but yeah, there was a lot of suspicion about that, and he didn't really follow up or bitch about it when they kind of didn't make a big deal about it. But I have no fucking idea. I don't know.
What about Bubba Wallace with the noose?
Oh, with the NASCAR, yeah, which was the garage closer.
Meanwhile, it was a garage. Somebody just used it to close the garage.
Yeah, they went crazy over that. I just want to watch ball games. Not all of this other stuff.
Me too. I feel exactly the way you do. Exactly.
Corey Hanks. I remember growing up and hearing that Lyle Alzado died from AIDS. What are your opinions on that? And have you ever guys interviewed or arrested him? Lyle Alzado, he really, I mean, I don't know he tried to blame steroids, but what he had nothing to do with fucking steroids.
No, it had nothing to do with steroids.
If anything, that probably kept him going for a little longer.
It was Paul DeMeo. Paul DeMeo told me. I know I've met Lyle in a gym. I don't know him. I just like I'm here and there's a gym full of people. And there's right there. That's the
Yeah, I think I might have seen him play from the fucking cheap seats at Shea Stadium.
I've been in the gym I've been in the gym while he's been in there. I seen him act up, but I wasn't with him. I didn't. Yeah. I was just a face in the gym. You understand? And I've been in the gym with Arnold when it back in '81 in World's Gym. But the thing is, I didn't fucking work out with him. I can't say like I wasn't hanging. It's just, in other words, just like Joe, if you went to the gym, there's some kid in there that maybe you that kid over there, you know what I mean? And he could say, oh, I was in the gym with Joe Pietaro. You know, that's the way it is. But I can tell you this, Paul DeMeo knew him pretty well. And Paul DeMeo, God rest his soul, is a great kid. He told me that, it was AIDS. And he said that he had that because he had that same thing where it's almost like where it goes to the brain.
Remember that interview he did like on 60 Minutes or something? Yeah. And then he had the Sports Illustrated, the cover feature.
Yeah.
When he was on the cover with the kerchief on.
With the fucking thing on his head. Yup.
Yeah, it was so sad. I mean, he was skeletal. I mean, this guy was a fucking maniac.
I think he was trying to do a money grab at the end because he was trying to say it was from anabolic steroids. Steroids don't affect they're not going to do that to the brain. Now, if you have problems with your liver or your heart or something, I might say maybe, but it's not going to do the brain. That I think was, and it was right when AIDS was huge.
Yeah, and he could have got it from a fucking abroad. Doesn't mean he was
right. Doesn't mean he was gay or any of that shit.
Heroin. Yeah.
Look, Tommy Morrison got it. What's his name? Tommy Morrison had it. Fucking Michael.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Magic Johnson. Right, Magic Johnson got it.
And they weren't gay.
No, a lot of them also could have been with IV drug users too. They could have, fucked around with shit like that. I don't know.
Maybe it's possible.
Partied with drugs, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Joe DiMaggio's prime. I don't even know what these stats are, Nick. My son laughs at me. He was taking away from the war 27 to 31. What exactly is PIME? I know this war and all this other crazy fucking stuff. Nick, I'm fucking stunad when it comes to some of these things. But yeah, Joe DiMaggio, he fought too, right?
Yes. He wasn't the nicest person, but
No, he was a prick, I heard.
He was a big
lot of people told me he was a fucking asshole.
I
And even as an old guy.
I told you the story with Mike and the Mad Dog, right? Remember, didn't I tell you that one where Mike and the Mad Dog were doing a thing at Mantle's restaurant in Manhattan? You know, Mickey Mantle restaurant in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right, and they were doing a thing there. It was like 1989 or something like that. And Billy Martin was still alive, and they were all there. Whitey Ford, all those guys, they were all there. And they were all going to meet, and they had all the cameras set up, and they were going to do this whole thing. This is a story Francesa told. Okay.
Who's a big Yankee fan? Yeah.
Right. And he said this really hurt him. He said this really, he goes, I got to tell you, it really damaged me. He said that Mickey Mantle was out doing a book signing across town.
Yeah.
And it was raining really bad that day. And he said that people were standing in line, right, to get their book signed by Mantle. And Mantle said, all right, that's it. It's done. I can't sign anymore. I got to go. I'm going to meet them over there at Mickey Mantle's, and I'm going to do a thing, right?
Yeah.
So he gets in a cab. He comes over to Mickey Mantle's. He comes into the thing, and they're all hugging him and everything. And he's sitting down. And he said they're setting up, and and he's talking with with the ex-Yankees and shit. And this guy comes in drenched from fucking head to toe. He's got his book, and he said, "Excuse me, Mickey, I stood in line. You noticed her already?"
No.
Oh, I do. So he goes, he's standing.
I've never heard this one.
Francesa said he was standing in line, and he said, the kid said, I'm standing in line, Mickey. I've been waiting. You're my biggest fan. My parents named me after you. Also bullshit, right? And he said, could you please just sign my book? I for hours, look, I'm drenched. And Mickey was ignoring him like this, not looking at him like this, and just trying to this. And he said that fucking finally one of the Yankees said, Mick, sign the kid's book. Sign the kid's book. He said, hey, give him the book. And Mickey goes like this, I'm not signing the book. I'm not signing the book. He throws a book at the guy, right, like this. And it basically
drunk.
No, he just didn't want. He said he was mean. He just was mean. He wasn't always the nicest guy. And he threw the book right in the guy's face. And the guy couldn't believe it. And the guy was like almost tears. And they were like, Mickey, come on, bro. All the Yankees, Mickey, come on. And then finally the guy said, you know what? Here, take your fucking book. I don't want it. You know what? I was your biggest fan. And you know what? Now, you heard. And he walked. And he said that when he was walking away, Mickey grabbed the book and threw it across the fucking thing and hit the kid in the back of the head with it.
He was probably drunk. He was a fucking alcoholic.
He was bad. Yeah, you know what's funny? He did say Mickey Mantle did say before he died, he said, my biggest regret is that I didn't take the game more seriously. I can't tell how many times I went to that game drunk. I could have hit so many more home runs and so many
100%. Yeah. He admitted it. Yeah, he was. Joe
DiMaggio's supposed to be like that too. Not like that in a different way. Joe DiMaggio just doesn't want any part of anybody. People asking Joe DiMaggio. There's a kid came up to him on an airplane. Hey, listen. Oh my God, Joe DiMaggio. Oh my God, I'm my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Blah blah. The whole shit.
Ignored him.
I thought I'd never get your autograph. Please, can you just sign this here? I've been looking. And he goes, "You're gonna get your wish. You're not getting my autograph. Get out of here." Some shit like that.
What a. Whatever, Mr. Coffee.
And that's the way a certain bodybuilder, I'm not going to say his name, that,
10 more pounds. Hey, Hank. I don't like anal. I hated it. Stop saying that. I just tried it out. But you tried it. That's all that matters. Alzado blamed Juice for his brain tumor. Yeah, I don't.
You don't get brain tumor from Juice.
I don't think it had anything to do with it.
My cousin died of AIDS, and he had the same type of thing where he got dementia. It's some sort of melanoma or fucking sarcoma. I forgot the name of it.
Everybody up. Yeah, I haven't voted since 2012. It's all bullshit. It is all bullshit. But this last one, I guess, was too big to rig because I thought we were right on the last one. Lyle was the only guy who ever gave me a good fight. Come on. If Magic Johnson has a kid for AIDS and all the broke people passed away, are you telling me if my grandma was the NBA right now that she would be okay? Now, Magic Johnson doesn't have a cure for AIDS. I think they just fucking shot him up with so much AZT at the beginning until they found some more stuff that they've been able
Well,
to.
now they can
combat it
control
with.
that. It's
Yeah.
not the death sentence. Back years ago, Joe will tell you, even at like the mid to later 80s, you got that shit and you were dead in fucking a month or two. I mean, that just ran through people. And now with protease inhibitors and
They
even
give you
steroids,
shit where you can take stuff beforehand
anabolic steroids
and
too.
get a fucking infected, and you don't get infected. Like you can get hit in the can, and you fucking you it's like almost a shield.
Dude, all the juice, a lot of the fucking the gay guys are the ones who were selling all the growth hormone and shit.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
They were
Yeah, I
selling
remember
all
when
the
that
growth hormone.
people were talking about that. Prime years. Okay, so his prime years. Okay, I thought it was one of those fucking war things. I heard Joe D was walking around San Francisco after the with delirious, holding a briefcase full of cash. Have you guys ever heard that story?
Never
before?
heard that one. No.
No. Was he on the highway and had an AK-47? It's 10:35. Can I get breakfast, please? What politician do you guys think is the biggest threat to our country? Barack Hussein Obama.
Barack Obama.
100%. That doesn't even fucking. DiMaggio, the one beat his wife. He beat the fucking tits off of Marilyn Monroe.
Did he really, Joe?
Oh yeah, that's like the worst kept secret in Hollywood. He was he tuned her up, but he adored her. But he was jealous because
he wanted her to be his mother. Right. She didn't want to quit Hollywood. And at the end, supposedly he's the one who paid for all her funeral shit and all.
Yeah, he's one of her pallbearers.
Right.
One of her
pallbearers. She called him supposedly in the end and said, I made a mistake. I should have stayed with him.
Yeah, because he wanted her to be like the Italian mom, and she wanted to fucking be on stage. At this point here at the Mandel store, I remember Joe saying when he met his Ed Kranepool that he had to offer Joe a hand job. No, Ed didn't offer me a hand job. I did meet Ed Kranepool at a fair out here, and he was with his children and grandchildren, and I just went up to him and said, "Hi, Ed, how you doing? Big fan. It's great to see you in person." And he was like, "Thanks." I think we shook hands, but he was with his family. I wasn't like, "Oh, we take pictures," and I was just like, "Oh shit, there's Eddie Kranepool," and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? Big fan from way back when, just being nice." I would have took a hand job. He's kind of cute back then. He had a nice head of hair for an old guy. I remember reading the other day something supplementing taurine and drinking energy drinks increases blood-related cancer. So if you're gonna do energy drinks and use taurine supplement, you could be fucking.
I don't know. I never heard that.
I don't know. Nothing would surprise me anymore.
Breathing air, if you can. Hey, Joe, do you know that it's 7? I'm.
It's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'm going to finish this last comment and then we're going to say goodbye. I could do this all night, Greg.
I could too. Not for nothing. But I'm getting
just hanging out, guessing. What would you guys do if you were driving and got stopped on the highway by BLM? Hood ornaments.
That's right. I'd step on the fucking gas. If you're going to be stupid enough to step in it, you know what I mean? Of course, I'd be in trouble probably for it, but you can't.
I'm not going to get killed.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
I can articulate. I was in fear for my life.
That's reverse racism. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired, bro.
Yeah,
all of that. All of it. I mean, I don't care what your skin color is. My children are part black. My ex-wife's father's black.
We're here to have fun. We don't want to, then all of that stuff is exhausting. I just want to have fun and fucking and tell dick jokes and fucking watch baseball.
Yeah, me too.
Later, fellas. I was busy doing meal prep. Listen, have a great rest of your week, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Egregious. Thank you.
Egregious, you're a fucking good dude. All you guys are great.
Thank you, all you guys.
Freddie Mac. You guys hung around for a long time. We've been doing this 2.5 weeks. I remember I said we're only gonna do an hour today. I told Greg. I got to be more cognizant. I didn't know it was this late. I was like, holy fuck. I didn't realize either. I got to go upstairs.
I didn't eat either. I went to the fucking dentist and I didn't want to eat before that.
He didn't want to eat. I got to eat. I want my mac and gravy. So
now
guys,
I need this to keep me awake, Joe.
Yep. Yeah. Swole Clean Energy. Make sure you go to swolllife.com, put in MSM 15, say 15%. Also, our other sponsors for this program, Old Man's Tune Up, and starting next week, Johnny and Skunkle with the Chapel of Peace, Greg.
That's my guy. I love
cremation and memorial service. West Coast Johnny, he's been a long time Mag family member. Great fucking guy.
West Coast
Paisan.
Johnny's my
So,
guy. I loved West
I
Coast
love
Johnny.
Johnny. So he's starting
He's-
next week. I'll fill you in on all the details with that, Greg, before next week's show. But that's going to do it for us today on Swol Lyfe Presents Greg and Joe. Greg, great stuff as
Thank
always.
you. Great show, Joe.
Great job. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank
We'll
you
see
guys,
next
man.
week.
We love you
Bye-bye.
guys. Even you, Charlie
Big-
Holmes.
He has a nice